Yes, John, your beard looks really good today. You can stop stroking it.
Very majestic.
Yeah, you do look rather gorgeous today.
Anyways.
Welcome to the Stand on Topic podcast. Welcome to the Staying on Topic podcast. My name is Ruben.
I'm Vic.
And my name is John.
And today, we technically have part one of a two-parter that we are doing. So today, we are actually unanimously all casting our votes for the Game Awards for the 2024 that happen, I believe, this coming week.
December 12th.
Yes, so this coming Thursday at the time of this recording, which is on a Sunday.
Yes.
Because today is the 8th.
Exactly what he said.
Yeah. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so this episode we're going to be casting our votes, and then next week we will be discussing the actual turnouts of the awards, and then discussing them then.
We'll probably be discussing how wrong we were.
Yeah, probably. We're probably going to get a lot wrong because, you know, much like I think everybody, not all of us have enough time to play all of these games.
Yep.
So
Very true.
We are just doing them as objectively as we can without playing some of them. Mm-hmm. So bear with us because we're probably not going to know stuff. We barely listened to some of the OSTs today because that was the only one we actually thought we needed to do like some research for.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously we'll get to that when we get to it.
Well, we've all watched quite a few of the games here and there. And I mean, you can make an opinion about it, you know, at least I think you can. So whatever. Yeah. But it's our opinion.
It's going to be our objective.
Subjective.
Sounds
one of those.
One of the
of the objectives.
We're objective. we're objective today.
One of the objectives.
Yep. Anyway, but before we get into that, because we don't know how long that's going to take, I guess we all kind of decided unanimously to just share one big topic instead of just doing multiple like little bits of news.
Yes.
Because there was a very big game launch a few days ago with Marvel Rivals.
Yeah.
And I think all three of us have three very different opinions on how the game is. One of us likes it, one of us is on the fence about it, and one of us really does not like it.
Very true. I wonder who that is.
Yeah.
I don't know. Couldn't be the old guy with skill issues, right?
Yeah, he's not very good with his fingers nowadays.
That's a whole different podcast.
Anyway, in the words of Good Mythical Morning, let's talk about that. Please don't sue us, Red and Link. Anyway, yeah, Marvel Rivals launched this past Thursday. To a, I would say, pretty fantastic launch.
Yeah.
For basically a day one game.
Yeah, it had a good launch.
Yeah, it was like over 400,000 people just on Steam alone.
Yes,
I believe.
That's good numbers.
Yeah, and again, that's just Steam. You know, that's not counting consoles or like Epic Game Store or wherever the listing for the game is. And I think at least three of us have played it long enough to form like some sort of opinion on it. I think I played it at least like 6 hours. I don't know about you guys.
A few hours. I haven't counted, but it's a few hours.
Maybe like, hour and a half.
Okay.
I mean, I've got a good like maybe 7-8 games in. I mean, I think I could make an opinion about something 7-8 games. I mean, yeah. It was fun. It was okay. I guess we'll start with my opinion because I guess probably the least likable. I don't know, whatever you want to call it.
It's the most controversial.
Like most games, you have an expectation when a new game comes out, and it's like, well, should it be like this game, or should it be like this game, or should it be like that game? And you try to compare it to. It's really shaking. You try to compare it to other games that you've played before, and sometimes you end up having a bad experience, or you think you're having a bad experience when it really isn't that bad. But I had to take a step back and look at it like, hey, game just came out. It's going to have I'm not saying it has bugs or anything, but it's going to have some learning curve, but you got to learn new characters and stuff like that. So, yeah, I don't know. Didn't have a good. I thought I was going to have a good time. Characters look fun. Graphics look pretty decent. But just couldn't get into the gameplay. I couldn't, like I said, maybe a skill issue. I don't know what. Maybe I haven't found the character that I like yet. Maybe that's
Which
another.
characters have you played?
Oh, I started out with Groot,
Mm-hmm.
and half the time, you know what? Maybe it's not a just necessarily a skill issue, but I'm just expecting too much from the other people playing the game. And when the new game launches, you really shouldn't do that because you're going to have a lot of people on there who just want to check out the game, and they're not like, you know, I don't know. I'm not saying you have to be a hardcore gamer to play a game, but like at least like try to you know play your role a little bit if you're going to do that. If not, you know, I found the problem that I ended up having was I'm trying to play a tank. It's my favorite role when I play these types of games, and I always ended up, it's me and there's 5 red people around me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, where is my team? Like, y'all were just here.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I die, you know, by getting killed by 5 DPS, which I think that's an issue at the moment. And then, you know, you spawn back at you respawn at your spawn point, and it's like, oh, they're all dead. You know, like awareness on my point, I jumped in when I shouldn't have. But it's like, hey, look, I see 5, 4, you know,
Yep.
I see my team there and jump in. It's like, okay, cool, start walling. And it was like, wow, I don't know, it just seemed too squishy. It's not an issue of the tank being too squishy. It was an issue of I was getting killed by 5 DPS characters. So, anyways, played Groot, played some Black Widow, played some Punisher, a little bit of Star-Lord. But it was more, what's the other shooter? Not Punisher, Winter Soldier.
Okay.
He has the grappling hook, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arm,
Winter Soldier, and then Captain America. I think that was it. After cycling through those, it was like, okay, you know, I'll try again tomorrow, and then I haven't played it again yet. So that's just my opinion. But I like it as I play it more.
Sure.
I'll still try a little bit, but yeah, I don't.
All right, well, I guess we'll go to Vic now. Because, spoilers, Vic is the one of us, or one of the 3 of us who really enjoys the game.
Yeah, I really liked it.
Wow,
It's really fun.
that was very surprising.
Yeah,
I totally would have thought y'all would have switched.
No,
Oh wow! All right.
Normally, I don't like multiplayer games if I play by myself,
Mhm.
but I don't know. Something about the game that really feels good to me.
Really?
Yeah, so good that when I played it today, I got an MVP playing as a support.
Cool.
Yeah, Cloak and Dagger. Holy moly!
Yeah,
That's
actually,
cool.
I think they're probably the best support in the game right now. That's the one. They're the ones I play.
Yeah, I played it like first time playing it too. I'm like, oh, it was great. I played Rocket. That's probably the character I played the most. I played Groot. I've played, I've tried a bunch of different characters. I haven't touched any of the attack characters or the what they're called, the duelists,
Yeah.
because I just haven't tried them yet. But I've tried a whole bunch of the Vanguard and the
Yeah, they have those like
Strategist.
I'm never calling them those names.
yeah.
It's
Oh, the
tank, DPS, or
and
support.
Support. I've played a bunch of the tanks and the supports, and they all feel pretty. I get what you mean. When you were talking about Groot, I'm like, I understand, because I had the same problem of like.
It wasn't a Groot issue. It was a tank issue.
Yeah, but that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
yeah.
Like, I know exactly what you're talking about. I think I was playing with Josh in that game too. But yeah, if you don't have teammates that know how to work with you,
But that's like most games.
Yeah, that's most
And,
games, right?
But I mean, especially it is especially bad when games just came out. And
yeah,
its
I
first
mean, it is
launch.
beginning,
And the only other issue that I had was sorry to jump off of that real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
Playing supports.
Yeah.
That's my second favorite. I love playing supports, but the amount of healing that can be done in this game is almost non-existent. And the healing that you can do, if you don't hit your shot exactly, or like you miss heals, you miss heal people, and it's like it's not a you don't necessarily playing other games. Or I mean, just let's be real. I mean, it's sort of like Overwatch. You have lock-ons for certain attacks or certain heals or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that kind of gets you, not gets you used to it, but kind of spoils you, I guess, in a sense, because this game is very heavily reliant on hitting your shot. There's not a lot of Overwatch is too, but I don't know, just something felt weird to me. I don't know if that's.
What supports did you play?
I tried Cloak and Dagger. I tried.
Because I think those actually lock on.
Skill issue. Told you. Maybe you didn't play it enough. That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah, like it isn't like.
I think I got so upset at playing the tanks. The rest of my experience was just like, oh, I'm just trying not to die. I spent. That's what it is. I spent 15 minutes playing tanks, and then 45 minutes to an hour just trying not to die. You shoot someone, they see you, they run at you, and you're dead. And it was like, and 90% of that was Iron Fist. Which was annoying. Annoying.
Yeah.
Character needs a nerf right away.
Maybe you should try playing some duelists.
Maybe I should try playing Iron Fist.
I mean, Iron Fist, yeah.
But anyways, yeah. Sorry about that.
No, I mean, great.
Okay.
What do you?
Well, before I get into my little spiel, I'm just gonna do one thing real quick. There we go. Secondly, I think I was more negative on it when I talked to you about it last. I think my tune has changed
A little bit,
but not a whole lot. A lot of my grievances with the game currently is its UI.
Oh,
I think just navigating the menus are god awful. Like the homepage is a non-existent thing. It's literally just like a poster, and then like they show you like the two things of news in the top left corner, but they dedicate a whole page to it for absolutely nothing. And then you have the play area, and then you go from there. But even like it seems so like convoluted, like because it automatically gives you to like quick play, and then like you have to click the sub play like quick play menu to get like the other game modes. And I'm just like, this seems so like tedious. Again, I know you said it's like Overwatch. It's like essentially it is. It's a team hero shooter. Like it's Overwatch. With the Marvel coat of paint on it. But that's neither here nor there. But like, I don't know, just the way. And maybe I'm in the minority. I don't know. I don't know how people feel about the Overwatch UI, but I feel like the Overwatch UI is very just like simple, easy to understand. It's like, all right, you get to the main menu. Here's all of your like things that you can do. There's like play, heroes. You can go and look at your skins and stuff. The shop where you can get your coins, like to purchase, settings and all that. I feel like the UI for Marvel Rivals, it just does a lot of unnecessary things for no reason. Like if I wanted to go and play a competitive like game of Overwatch, all I have to do is click play, and then it shows me, hey, here's quick play, comp, arcade. All right, I want to go comp. All right, do you want like roll Q, or do you just want any roll? It's like, okay, boom, I'll do roll Q. All right, do you want to be tank? You want to be support? You want to be DPS? All right, you can click, or do you not care and you just want to rotate? Okay, that's how fucking. Nope, I cussed. That's how simple it should be. And I feel like with Marvel Rivals, again, maybe it's just because it's new, and like you just have to get used to it.
Yep.
Maybe like 4 months down the road, I'm like, this is why was I complaining about it? But it just seems kind of dumb. Like the fact that I have to go to the play menu, and if I want to switch to comp, I have to like go into like a sub menu of the game modes instead of just going and just having all the game modes ready. Because they take up a whole bunch of space just to like show you the team, like if you're in like a group, like, hey, here's everybody on your team, and then here's this giant like image of the hero that I don't even know if it's like your favorite hero, your most played hero, or what. There's just a hero like on the screen.
You can just choose
and
it.
I'm like, that's so much screen real estate to dedicate to just a character.
Yeah.
Where you could have put the game modes there instead of having it be like a sub menu. It just feels kind of like dumb. And then I hate the way they deal with their currency. I think it's so dumb because you buy their coins.
Yeah.
But if you want to buy their skins, you have to convert those coins into like their skin currency. But then the battle pass has its own set of currency for the battle pass.
I didn't even get into that. So is it just like you're buying the you're buying the coins and then you have to convert it into the type of currency you want.
Yes.
See, that makes no sense. So I agree with you that. And to piggyback off what you're saying, the UI, I think the UI is horrible. I don't like the UI either. I don't know if it's the issue of it being. I was gonna sit here while you were saying that. I was thinking like, maybe it's an issue of it being dark. But there are some games that have a dark UI, so that's not necessarily the issue. I think maybe it's the color scheme or the way it's designed. It's like I don't know. It's like enough effort wasn't put into the design of it.
I think it's 100% because I think they optimized the UI for PC. Because if you do anything on the console, which is where I'm playing it, because right now there's no cross progression, so I have no reason to like want to play it on my PC, other than just I want to play it on my PC. But like it's just easier for me to just boot up my PlayStation and play it on my PlayStation. But like you can clearly tell that the UI is meant for PC because if you want to do anything, you can use your buttons, but there's clearly a cursor that they want you to use to do anything. So they clearly want you to play this on your PC. Like that's the place where they optimally want you to be.
I was playing it on Chris's PC, and so it was like, I get what you mean because when you bring up the controller settings or whatever, or when you plug in a controller, immediately trying to like RB or like click over, nothing pops up. The cursor pops up, and you have to move the cursor around with your controller. And it's like, that's fine. Apex does that. A couple other games do that, but it's just like there's something about it not looking so. I don't know. You can have a flashy UI, you can have a dull, simple UI, you can have whatever, but there's just something about it. Just like I said, I don't know if it's maybe color scheme. Certain things don't pop out enough to where it's like I have to look at, is that? And I don't have good eyesight, so it's like, am I clicking the right thing, or am I going into the right menu or whatever? So I think they can improve on the UI as well. So
yeah, but now if I were to dabble into the gameplay, I think the gameplay is fun enough.
Yeah.
They're not reinventing the wheel, besides adding like if you and like say me and Vic are on a team and I pick Hulk and he picks Wolverine. Now all of a sudden we have like this little buddy move thing. I don't know what they call it. I forget. But now I could throw Vic as Wolverine. Like to me it's a gimmick. I hardly ever find that I'm using it unless it's like a passive thing. And maybe that's more so to do like with the people that I'm playing. They're just kind of playing whoever they want. They're not really necessarily thinking about, hey, this hero and this hero have like a hero composition thing. Let's run that, because there is a little thing that you can toggle being like, hey, I picked this character,
like
please.
Request.
Request this, this hero so we can do that. Nobody really does that. And I feel like nobody's ever really going to do that unless like you're in competitive. And I don't really know what the competitive scene is for Marvel Rivals. I just unlocked it yesterday. Like, because you have to be level 10 to unlock it, and I just got to level 10 yesterday. But yeah, it's fun enough. Like, I think, and again, I might be in the minority because I actually have seen people kind of be like in defense against this, but like this game needs hero queue real bad.
Oh yeah.
Because if you're not playing anything other
Roll
than
queue?
Roll queue. What did I say?
Hero queue.
Same thing.
I knew it. Yeah, I know what you meant.
Class. I get
Class
what
queue,
you're saying.
whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, they really need to add that because if you're not playing anything other than DPS, you're either dead instantly or they're gunning for you as support. Because they're either going to kill you as tank super quickly, or they're going to go and try to find you to kill you as support. There's no like in between. I feel like every game I've been in, besides like maybe a few outliers, where like people were just like, hey, we understand that we understand the assignment. We'll have 2 tanks, 2 healers, 2 supports. Most of the time it's, oh hey, my entire party is DPS. I guess I'll be the healer.
Yeah.
Because we probably should have a healer. And like that's not fun. Like maybe for somebody, like it's like, oh yeah, that's fun. Like if you really like support, then it's probably fun. I'm not saying I don't like support. I like playing support. Support's probably my number 1 favorite
Yeah,
role.
but not when you're forced into a
not when you're forced.
role. It's like,
Like
at that point you might as well just play your favorite DPS and say forget it. Like, oh well.
You could.
Like I was watching one of my favorite like Overwatch streamers because that's the hip new thing right now. All the Overwatch streamers are playing Marvel Rivals. And I'll get to that in like a second. But like, he was talking about how like the first day he was, he was playing a bunch of like the DPS people. Like he was kind of just rotating, but then like once his friends, started installing the game and wanting to play, all of a sudden, now he's like forcing himself to play tank because nobody else wants to. and he understands, from being from Overwatch, we need a tank, so he's like forcing himself to play tank.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, all of this could be avoided if we just had like a role queue. But in a separate video, he actually comes to the defense of not having like a role queue, because he thinks, and I've seen this kind of like notion, is that they don't want this game to be like Overwatch in terms of like how it's played. And granted, I think it won't be like Overwatch. Like, it's a similar concept, but I feel like the execution is different. Yes, they have similar game modes. Again, they're not reinventing the wheel, right? It's a simple premise. Like, there's only so many game modes you can add. They basically have capture and escort and hybrid. That's pretty much the thing that they do. That's like, again, Overwatch. That's what they do. So I forget where I was going with that. Anyway, that happens sometimes. I get on a tangent, but anyway, he's like, they want this to be separate. Oh, that was my. Ooh, Cell. Thank you, Siri. I didn't mean to do that. That was really funny.
That was pretty funny.
But they want it to be different, and I'm like, I understand that, and I do think that just how good the launch was is indicative of something. I think people do want something different.
Go ahead. Sorry about that.
Well, no, you go first.
No, I think that people want something different, but I don't think it's different enough to give to. I think the launch was just big enough because they wanted something different, but at the same time, it's not really that different. It's like, I understand they were looking for something different, but when it really comes down to it, it's like it's not all that much different. I mean, some of the game modes are. I mean, I don't know if they're going to add different game modes later on. I'm assuming they will, but some of the game modes look the same, or similar. I don't know, and I'm a very big advocate of being original in the game, and when some things in the game look like you could have taken Overwatch, Paladins, and maybe a couple other ones, and just taken off the Unreal 5 store and just pop it into a game, and that's what it looks like. I think that's a bigger issue that I have, other than dying in a game in Marvel Rivals. It was just the graphics, as well as the backgrounds, the backdrops, the scenes, the way the lighting comes in from the one area. I don't remember the names of the maps, but the way the rocks were designed to where you can't jump a little bit, and then there's certain areas where you can jump onto them and you can't jump. And it's this is so similar, so it just screams other games, and it's just man, are you really that different? I mean, or is it just it's Marvel? And so that's why.
Well, that's the thing that I was going to get to, right? I want to see how many of these people actually stay.
Yeah,
because there are going to be people that just saw this as the new Marvel game. Let's test it out, especially because it's free. You know, people are going to play that just because it's free. But I want to see how many of these people actually stay around and continue to play, because I'm sure by maybe a month from now there's going to be a dip, because
well, I mean, that's every game.
Yeah, especially because it's new, right? Eventually, you can only play the same maps for so long. Mm-hmm. I think there's 3 maps of each type of game, so there's 9 maps in total. Maybe I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, it'll be interesting,
But also, like you said, they want to be different, right? But at the same time, if you want to be different, why did you make a game that is so similar to other games? It's why didn't you be a little more original? Why didn't you change your graphics a little bit?
Well, I meant different more so in the way of they don't have roll queue and they don't want to adhere to roll queue because they want people just to have,
I get that. I get that,
fun.
but I mean, it's just yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. They do the cell shaded art style, and I've already had my piece about cell shaded art style.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of it.
Same.
But I'm willing to let that slide because, again, I think the gameplay is fun enough. Again, I keep saying it. They're not reinventing the wheel. It's very safe gameplay. There's not too much into it. If you've played any type of this hero team based shooter thing, you're probably gonna at least be comfortable playing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Again, I think my issues are more so just the UI in general, and then just if I had to add roll queue, I would add roll queue. That's just me though.
One last thing for that I had forgot to mention earlier was how I started off playing tank. I was like, okay, well maybe I'm just doing it wrong or whatever. So changing into like a DPS character or DPM character or whatever. And it's like your time to kill or time to death is it felt eerily similar on a tank than it does to a DPS character. And it's like, and Chris was like, he was watching me. He was like, well, like this, Captain America or Groot or wherever else, they have like 700-800 HP, right? And the DPS doesn't have. They had like what I don't remember what it is, like 300 to 350, 400, 250, something like that. And it was like the time to death seemed like exactly the same. It's like there was no survivability. It's like, so if you're in order to have survivability for tanks, you need a support. So I found myself like, well, okay, well there's like what you're saying. There's nothing but DPS. Well, I might as well go tank because we need a tank, right? And you get in the game and it's like, wait a minute, but there's no support backing up the tank. So it's like, what's the use when you die instantly? I think it's like if you have 3 DPS on you, you're dead. Yep. Almost pretty instantly. And it's not even like I don't have time to like run away and pop a shield or pop a wall or whatever else. When in other games, it's like, oh, okay, I have a little bit, I can get away, heal up a little bit by a self heal or not heal or grabbing a pot or whatever. So I found I guess that's going to come with time though, right? So, anyways, that was my other big problem that I had with it.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, the game just released. It's like, what?
Yeah, it just came out.
4 days old.
Yeah.
It's like 4 days old. Granted, the beta I think was like a month and a half, 2 months or something. I don't really remember. I wasn't in it. But we'll just have to like wait and see.
Yeah.
Granted, I don't want the game to fail, like because inherently competition is good.
Yeah.
Like, but the one thing that I just remembered to bring up right now, I do not think that this is the Overwatch killer that a lot of people are making this out to be.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think it's even close.
No.
Because if there's one thing, there's a few things that while I was playing Marvel Rivals, I was like, man, this is an Overwatch, and I was like, I wish it were here. And it's that in Overwatch 2 they implemented the passive healing. Like if you're not hit for like 5 seconds, you just regenerate health. And like, man, especially because again, there's no Roku, so nobody has a reason to play sports. So I'm just like, man, it'd be really good right now if we just had that passive healing. Yeah. Granted, that's a thing that they can implement later. Sure. If they want to. I don't know if they will. But yeah, just like little things like that. Also, I don't like the gimmick of the destructible like parts of like the map.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think that's it. It's to me it's a gimmick. It doesn't add anything. Like
I had a really, really great experience with a Groot player that broke through a water flank. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. Like, because I completely forgot that there was destructible elements in the game, and then literally broke through a wall to go into a different hallway, and I'm like, oh yeah, you can do this. So there's some. Yeah, so there's some
differences and stuff, and I'm sure they're going to implement more things that other games don't have as well. So I mean, that's not a. Those are just little more gripes that whatever.
No, but I think it's important to like voice your gripes, because there are going to be people who are just going to like look at this and be like, "Oh man, this is amazing! Like, there's no problems with this," because they want something that isn't Overwatch. Because, as much as like I think you and me specifically, maybe not so much Vic, we kind of like not sing Overwatch's praises, but we like the game. We're very open about liking the game. I don't think it's necessarily like a bad thing to like voice your grievances, because the people who are saying like, oh yeah, this is the Overwatch killer, this is gonna be the end for Overwatch, F Blizzard and this and that, they're saying that because I don't think they're saying that because like they genuinely hate Overwatch. Some of them probably do, but I think a lot of them just want Overwatch to be better. I think it's safe to say that Overwatch 2 hasn't been exactly the greatest thing to happen. A lot of people would probably say it didn't need to happen.
But also, I mean, yeah, they could have came out with just a big DLC, right? But I mean, like, and just kept it Overwatch, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not. I don't get the hate for Overwatch. I really don't. It's not a bad game.
I don't think it's necessarily about the game. I think it's a lot of like the false promises.
Yeah.
I get that, but at the same time, it's like, I mean, okay, you playing it. I mean, I played Overwatch since it came out, since the original one came out, and it was just like, I understand it's different, but it's still what it is. It's a it's a team shooter. Kind of like and you have objectives, and I mean, honestly, if you don't like it, just don't play it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see why it gets all the hate, and I mean, also, I'm sure it gets a lot of hate as well, just because it's a Blizzard game and people don't like Blizzard, right?
Mm-hmm.
And but I don't know. I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's as bad as people like. Or I just don't have. I'm not under the same opinion of people. It's just like, it's. I don't know. I think it's fun. It's one of those games you can hop on. You can play a round or two, or a couple of games, or spend 2 or 3 hours on it, and that's it. And it's.
Well, I don't think anybody complains that the game's not fun.
Yeah.
Or if they do complain that the game is not fun, they're not complaining about the game. They're complaining about the balancing issues.
Yeah.
Like, I think most people will say, if you ask somebody, hey, who's your least favorite player or who's your least favorite hero, Vic, what are they going to say?
Malga.
Exactly. Everybody has the same opinion on the same characters. Who's broken, who's not, who's overpowered, who's not, who needs to be buffed, who doesn't. It's more so that whenever I think of people's like actual grievances with the actual game. But I think a lot of people are, when you think of like Overwatch 2 and how it just hasn't been what was to be expected, the first thing people think of is PvE.
PvE.
The promise of PvE, they were going to do it, and then they didn't do it,
And
and they scrapped the whole thing. I think that skews people's perception.
Yeah.
And then they had the whole thing at launch of like you couldn't play characters as they were being released; you had to unlock them. Which to this day, I will give Blizzard credit. They got rid of that. It took them a while, but they got rid of that. Now you could just play the new characters, like when they release, and I think that's pretty awesome. Instead of like having to unlock them.
I don't know. I didn't mind the whole unlocking. I was used to it from Apex. They released a new character. You got to buy it with the credits that you saved up. And
here's the thing: inherently, it makes sense. I think like looking from like their perspective, is like, hey, if you're new, you're not gonna have every hero, right?
Yeah.
Because you should just learn the game. Because I look at something like League of Legends that has like 160 different characters to pick. If you have too many options, you don't know what to pick, right?
Yeah.
So inherently limiting your options.
Honestly, it's going to make you better at a smaller number of characters, and make you focus on the game a little bit more, and learning the objectives, and that's.
Yeah. Again, that is inherently good. If you're new to the game, the problem was everybody who was playing Overwatch 2 had been playing Overwatch.
Yeah.
So you didn't have a reason to lock the characters.
True.
So people are going to be up in arms about having to like unlock their characters or pay to unlock their characters because they don't want to do that because they've been having their characters for free the entire time.
Yeah.
And now you're locking them away and people just want to play it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like everybody had a fit that people couldn't play Kiriko unless you paid, X amount of dollars. I forget. It was like the Battle Pass or something, or the Battle Pass cost. But like, it was kind of stupid. Like, and again, I'm not praying for Overwatch 2's downfall. Granted, I think this next season, I do think Marvel Rivals, can come in and like dominate. I think if they had a chance to come in and try to dominate, it would be right now, while you're still hot and fresh and, the flavor of the month, especially because, I look at Overwatch as, season 14 that's about to come out. I think it comes out like this next week. Kind of lackluster, Granted, we're getting Hazard. Hazard's officially releasing.
Sure.
We're getting the Avatar Last Airbender collab skins. I think those look cool. I did get them spoiled. And we're not gonna put an image or anything of them. But they're out there. You can look them up.
Yeah.
They look fine. Venture's finally getting a skin after like 9 months of being released. Granted, I think she had one, but I'm going off topic. Trying to stay on topic. But yeah, I don't. But yeah, I don't think Marvel Rivals is going to be the Overwatch killer yet.
Right.
Because there's still enough time for Blizzard to really mess up.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
could always happen.
Yeah, granted, Blizzard has like a huge head start, right? They've been doing this since like 2016.
Yeah.
So they have a big head start in terms of like being in this space. They know how to work.
Well, I mean,
in
the
this
good thing
space.
is competition's good for every market, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
who knows? Maybe Overwatch 2 will get better.
Yeah.
Well,
Because
that's the hope, right?
That's the hope. Yeah.
It's like, hey, Marvel Rivals, it's new, it's hot, everybody wants to play it. All right, what can we do to make people want to play Overwatch?
Yeah.
And granted, they brought in classic mode, right? Classic mode or classic Overwatch is supposed to be a way to bring back lapsed fans to come and play again. Granted, I don't think the people that played that Overwatch are necessarily wanting to play new Overwatch.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. I just also I don't think you brought it up. Okay, and it being cell shaded or the characters the way they're drawn. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to get past that in Marvel.
Oh yeah.
In Rivals, never, and because I have such an issue with that. It's like you're this multi-billion-dollar company, and it's like, and you can't spend an extra, you can spend some extra money, hiring like a team of people to create your characters, with some really, really nice models. Nah, let's just cell shade everything.
I love the models.
I can't.
Yeah, see. The reason I'm on Vic's side with this is because it's they're cartoon characters,
Yeah, true, but
comic book characters.
comic book
the
characters.
But since they're cell shaded,
Yeah.
and I don't know if you know how it outlines the red and the blue.
Mm.
It's very bothersome to the eyes.
Oh,
You're outlining red and blue, so it
that might
sometimes
just be
it's indistinguishable.
Yeah.
Certain characters
Sure.
at a distance, and once you're at a certain draw distance away, because of the cell shading.
Mm.
If the models were just outlined red and blue, I mean they've done that in other games. I never have an issue with it. It's an issue probably with my eyes, and I mean if it's an issue with my eyes, maybe it's an issue with other people's eyes. But it's just cell shading and the whole what's the other one? Graphic. It's starts with a V. I can't remember the name of it. Whenever they do that, it seems so cheap to me. It's like you have this game where that you're supposedly spending a crap load of money on, and you have cell shaded characters. It's like someone could have done that in their garage over the weekend. Like it just seems really cheap and fake to me. Whether they're animated or cartoon characters or not.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's the same like when a new JRPG comes out and all the characters look anime. It's just like you could have pulled these from some other game, and it's just like there's no uniqueness to it.
Right.
Even though it is Wolverine or Hulk or whatever, it looks like it was. Sorry, with the people that were playing Hulk, and when I was looking at Hulk, it looks like they designed a Hulk skin around a previous graphics model. And so it looks clunky. Maybe that's another reason too. But anyways, that's
So I'll agree with Vic when it comes to like the cell shading, like comic booky style doesn't bother
get
me.
why,
but I do think some of the characters do look a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like certain characters look too buff, and it just kind of looks a little silly.
Yeah.
Granted, I get it. Comic booky, like they're gonna do it, but like
Yeah.
it looks a little too ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
Punisher, Thor.
I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I love that, but that's just because I love cartoony stuff. Like
Yeah.
that. It's great.
I get it.
I have. It's great. I love.
But
it.
at that point, make the whole game cartoony. Why do you have to pull 3D assets? Okay, again, I'm not saying you pull 3D assets from the freaking Unreal 5 store, but that's what it looks like. Sorry, not sorry. Your game looks like it was like somebody made these and you like pulled. Oh, look, we haven't used one of these in one of these games. Let's pull this. Okay, so you have a 3D game with cell shading characters. Just make the whole game cell shaded. I would have had no issues with that.
Okay.
If they made the entire game look comic book,
Yeah.
I probably would have liked it even better.
Love that.
I would have liked it even better.
No, see, now you lost me.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, like, why do half and half? I can't. I can never stand
No,
when
if
it's
they
3D
no,
with
if
cell
they,
shading.
no, John, if they fully committed to that, I wouldn't be playing it. Like, actually, I wouldn't be playing it.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Like, I like I only tolerate the cell shading to a degree.
Right.
If they fully was just
No,
like everything's cell shaded,
I just said that because I knew he would say that.
Oh, okay.
It's great.
Absolutely,
It's
not.
great. No, I'm kind of half serious because I would love to just see how it looks like. Because there,
Yeah,
there
imagine
is a
if they
point
could bring
there-
if they could bring a comic book look
yeah.
to life in a game. I think that'd be pretty cool. That
but
would be unique.
There is a point where it's too much sometimes. There is a point.
I guess.
But I would love to see it just to see it. It'd be great. There's like a comic mode for like visual.
Yeah, well, you're
go to
Marvel.
options. Just do.
What other game would it? Whatever game would
great.
it would be the perfect game to do it in?
Great.
I wonder if this is gonna like force like DC to make their own like.
Oh my
Lord.
god.
I'm not saying it's gonna happen, nor do I. Nor am I saying do I want that.
I wouldn't mind
Yeah.
that just to see it. I'm just curious how they would do it.
Don't they already have a?
A DC hero shooter?
No, it's not a hero shooter.
Yeah, that's like I want to see
Yeah,
like.
I was like, no, DC has a lot of games. I don't think they have a hero shooter.
Yeah, they don't.
I
'Cause
want
they
to
have,
see
they
a
have DC
hero
Universe
shooter.
Online.
Yeah,
They had Injustice, which was a fighting game.
fighting
That's
game.
a fighting game.
They had a fighting game. They have a.
Didn't they have like a almost like a MOBA or no?
They have a lot.
Is that which one's that one? I don't remember.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Whatever.
Anyway, I wonder what other IPs are gonna want to try the hero shooter.
Oh my god.
Because granted, people there are going to be companies that have like big IPs, big-ish IPs
That
that are going to see this.
I want to dip their toe in.
Yeah, they're going to say, oh, well, Marvel can do it, and they had success.
Maybe we can do it.
Yeah, people are going to be like, oh, let's get Transformers to do it. Like, granted, now that I say that out loud, that's actually sounds pretty gas.
yeah, but see, hold on. There comes an issue. There comes a point in time where it's like, okay, so when you have games that are not, a certain specific brand, right? So you have like your Smites, you have Overwatch, you have, whatever other games, but you can collaborate and bring in skins, right?
Yeah.
Will Marvel ever bring any skins in from other places?
No.
It's probably never going to happen,
Probably not.
right?
Well, yeah, but
So-
they have other comic books.
They have literally.
Of course, they have other
Thousands of
comic books, and they're going to
comic
bring more characters.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is they have a limit to their characters that that.
I mean, that's anything.
That's anything, right?
Yeah, that's anything.
I was just thinking about that the other day. I was like, wow, I wonder what kind of skins they can. Granted, it's probably going to end up the whole like, you're going to end up seeing Hulk in a tuxedo or some shit,
Hey.
Not even-
Hey.
But that's what I'm saying. That's the only skins you're. I mean, that's the type of skins you're gonna.
I would love
you're
to
gonna-
see World Ender Hulk.
Okay, a different variation of.
Because they have the what is it, the War Planet Hulk from Scar.
Oh really?
Yeah, like they already have that skin in.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Yeah,
there's-
I didn't
there's
look
a lot
at.
of-
Yeah.
Well, right now it seems like they're going down just the movie route. Like they're just getting all the
all the
people with
movies.
movies.
Yeah,
Like, they have Black Widow's movie skin. They
gotcha.
have No Way Home Spider-Man's skin. Any of the Guardians characters have their Guardians 3
They have,
skins.
like the
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
uniform.
So I mean that's probably gonna be the simplest thing for them
yeah.
to do is just do the movie
Magic.
skins.
It's got a badass skin. Sorry for my language.
But that's not really a bad word. We're not gonna bleep that.
all right.
yeah, you're
It's got a cool skin. Magic.
It's a character name.
Yeah, I know.
she's-
I was like, who? Yeah, which one's Magic?
X-Men. She's Colossus' sister. Her whole story is her mutant powers is she creates portals, but she creates portals to a place called Limbo, which is basically hell. Goes there, gets stuck in like a weird time loop, and then
Mhm.
comes back. But she's got like a cool like soul sword, and she can kind of half turn into a demon.
Okay, cool.
One of her skins is basically like she becomes Elsa,
Oh, okay.
all white. It's like
Before
that's a badass.
before we
that's a
end
badass skin.
before we end this segment because I think we've kind of run its course.
Yeah.
What character do you want to see that's not in the game yet?
Ooh.
Because I have mine.
Well,
And it's pretty obvious.
What?
It's Daredevil.
Yeah.
I would love to see Daredevil.
Yeah.
Because like there's so many things that they can do in terms of like not skins and stuff, but like the little combined thing because you could do it with Punisher, you could do it with Iron Fist, Spider-Man.
Mhm.
There's a bunch of like different like little crossover move things that they can do. That and I just like Daredevil. Daredevil's my
I think
favorite.
it's kind of weird that they put in Iron Fist before Daredevil.
I mean, to be fair, they put Iron Fist in before any of the Fantastic Four.
That's
Very true.
Very true. That's true.
It'd be cool. Silver Surfer.
Silver Surfer.
That would be cool.
Who would I like to be? Honestly, more X-Men. I think the other day I mentioned to Josh I would love to see Cyclops.
Cyclops, yeah.
Right?
So I think that's actually one of the characters that I saw that's supposed to be getting released. Because I saw that and like the Fantastic Four. I know I just said Fantastic Four is not in the game, but
They're going.
I saw a leak
course. I mean,
of
that's-
I think it was like the Human Torch.
Yeah.
And granted, they're like they're gonna come to the game eventually, right? It's not so much if it's when.
It's
when.
when. Yeah, yeah.
Because you're not gonna not put the Fantastic Four. You're not gonna put most of the X-Men.
Yeah,
you
like
know.
all the heroes that people know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna be in there.
Yeah, eventually. It's just a waiting game.
Yeah.
You know, but they've hit pretty much most of the.
Ooh, imagine when
the
they
big
get
people.
Doom in there. Dr. Doom. That would be kind of cool, too.
Yeah, Doctor Doom. That's another thing I wish they did more. I wish there were more villains.
Yeah.
Villains, yeah.
Like, because
Who
right now,
knows? Maybe,
it's like
us-
what Magneto,
Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet. Yeah, she's not really a villain.
Eh,
She's like
That's
that's like saying Venom. Like Venom's like villain adjacent, but like he's also kind of a cool guy.
I don't know. Hey.
That's
Most of
another
the
skin.
time-
That's
most of
another
the
skin
time-
I did not like. Magneto. I didn't like
Magneto.
that. Didn't
Oh,
like that skin.
Because you can say the same thing about Loki. Loki's in the game. Like,
Yeah.
He's a villain.
yeah, but he's also
He's
Most
sort
of
of.
the
He's
time.
sort of.
Most of the time.
that's see. Well, that's the thing, right? It's like the only like villain, and like again, it's like villain adjacent is like Magneto.
Well, not even really, because Magneto's not. Yeah, he's bad, but not.
That's what I'm saying. He's like villain adjacent, right?
Yeah.
He's not like fully bad,
Yeah.
but like we need a villain who's like just bad.
He's a
Like, give-
full-on terrorist.
Like give
what
me
are you
Green
talking
Goblin.
about?
No, he's.
He's a full-on terrorist.
Like give me like Green Goblin in the game.
There you go. Okay, that's
Oh,
different.
oh,
Like somebody
alright,
who's just
alright.
purely bad, or like Doc Ock,
Purely.
Yeah.
or like you said, Doctor Doom. Like
Yeah.
Doctor Doom. I don't know. Doctor Doom, great ruler.
just wonderful guy, great guy.
Hey, look, Doctor Doom might be a narcissistic guy who wants to take over the world,
But he's just a fun guy.
but
What about all the good things Doctor Doom did?
Latveria? Literally, everybody knows that he wants to take over the world and is a villain, but they're cool with it because he's a great ruler.
Trying to think of like other now that I'm on this topic, I'm trying to think of like other heroes that like they haven't done. Because like I said, there was Daredevil.
See-
We could do Luke Cage.
See, I don't want to say any heroes that have been on media, because they put Squirrel Girl in. Barely anybody knows who she is, and she's amazing. It's great. So I want to say like a really obscure hero, but I can't think of any.
Well, I mean, they could go like Molecule Man. They could go
Oh yeah.
the route of. I just had someone in my head before you said Squirrel Girl.
Oh, you know who I just thought of?
What?
That's like villain adjacent. Is like Black Cat.
Oh yeah.
I feel like they don't touch like Black Cat
No.
often.
Well,
In like
I
any
mean,
video.
I don't. Well, she's just yeah. I mean yeah.
But yeah,
See-
that's cool. That's
Yeah. Anyway, general consensus between the three of us: the game is fine at best
It's okay.
and not great at worst. But it does
hope
not.
it gets better for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I
Well-
think. We're just hoping this continues to be a success for Rivals and is a kick in the butt for Overwatch to start trying again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, did you hear they immediately announced 6v6?
Yes,
Like right.
Yeah, but
after?
that was already going to happen.
that was already gonna. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
already gonna do that.
Yeah,
But yeah,
But you know what the most important thing about all this is?
Mm.
It doesn't matter because it is outliving Concord.
That's true.
that's true.
That's true.
And with that, we will move on to the main topic of our segment, which is the Game Awards.
Yay.
Yay, Game Awards. I guess I'll be the first person to say it. I think the Game Awards are stupid.
Do you have a problem with the Game Awards? Or do you have a problem with award shows?
I guess it's award shows. I think all award shows award shows are just kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't mind award shows when they bring recognition to things that deserve to be, have recognition brought to them. When you're doing it just because the sake of like, oh look, I'm better than you, that's totally different.
well, I think here's the thing, right? When you look at like movie awards,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's safe to say when something is objectively better than the rest of the movies. You know, you could look at like Oppenheimer or whatever won. You know, was it the Oscar? Oscar, right? It's the Oscars for the movie.
Oscars,
Yeah.
yeah.
Whoever won the Oscar, for best movie, it's probably objectively the best movie out of the ones that were there. Whereas like something like the Game Awards, like it's kind of hard to like dictate like, hey, this is the best game out of these bunch of games.
Yeah.
Because most people have like a certain game that style that they want to play, and when all the games are very different, it's kind of hard to be like, hey, this is the best out of the bunch, when it might not be a game for you. That's why I say the game awards are kind of silly.
I get it. I get the understand. I get what you're saying.
And it's also one of those things. And again, we'll get to it when we get to it. But like a lot of the games that are in game of the year, they're in their selective category for best of their genre. So if they don't win those categories, theoretically, they shouldn't be game of the year because they're not even the best in their category. So again, it doesn't matter. Like,
well, that's been true with the past couple of with years past, right? I mean, most games that win game of the year, they're going to win their categories in other categories.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's not true. God of War swept most of their awards, and then they got snubbed.
Okay,
game of the year because
Elden Ring. True, but that's because Elden Ring. I mean that.
Which we'll get to Elden Ring once we get there.
Yeah.
Because everybody, for the most part, seems to have the same opinion, and we'll get there when we get there. So I guess now we will switch screens.
Switch over, yeah.
Right. Yeah, so we'll switch screens right about now. And we're back from that cut. Hopefully it was good. I didn't do it. So we are going to do our official nominee picks for these prospective categories of their choosing. We're going to start from the last category and then work our way backwards because I think it's kind of dumb that they have you vote for Game of the Year right off the bat.
Yep.
Like, I feel like that's something that you should wait until the end to do. But with that said, we will be voting in the first of the last categories. It would be Best Esports Team.
Yes.
Now, like we said at the beginning, we're not going to know everything. And I will tell you this right now. I don't know any of these people besides T1. And the only reason I know T1, I believe, is because I only know one of the best esports athletes nominees.
Faker.
Who I think, Faker, who I believe is in T1.
So you don't even know.
So I don't even know.
That's hilarious.
So I don't even know. I believe T1 is his team.
Is he in that picture?
This is one of those things I could easily look it up, but I'm not going to. We're just going to say that he is. Now, I don't play any of these games. So I have no reason to watch any of these esports.
Well, 3 of them are League of Legends, so why would anybody play those games?
True.
Why would anybody? League is fun. I don't know what you're talking about.
But I think it's safe to say that any single one of those players on that team, those 3 teams, they're probably very loyal. They're very loyal because they are undoubtedly playing these games for long periods of time.
Yeah.
Which means they have some sort of tenacity and wherewithal and will to play League of Legends for hours on end.
Very true, but I know most of those teams, but I don't know. I would have to say, if I was picking on my own, I'd probably go with Team Liquid.
Yeah, I knew.
Because they've been around longer than any of the other teams there. Dota 2's been out probably the longest. That's the longest game that's been out of those. There's only 3 there, right? Yeah, Counter-Strike.
And League of Legends.
So I don't know if this is indicative of the photos that they used or that's just how it is. T1 and Team Liquid are the only ones holding championships. So I don't know if it's because the other teams don't have championships or if they just didn't use those photos.
Which, I mean, they should have used those photos.
So if we're going by best, it should be probably the 2 that have trophies.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes, 2 of them clearly look like winners.
Yes.
Well, he said T1. I see Team Liquid. What do you think?
Well, here's the thing, right? If you look at the Team Liquid photo, there's one guy in blue and the rest in white. So it makes it look like if that guy's a coach, the coach is holding the trophy instead of the players, which is kind of funny. I don't know if that's actually the situation. It just looks kind of odd that it seems like the players aren't holding their trophy that they just won.
You have just made me vote for Team Liquid because that sounds hilarious.
Again, I don't have any say in this. I don't watch any of these esports, so I'm fine with voting Team Liquid.
Cool. Awesome. Liquid. So we're gonna go with Team Liquid.
Hey, there we go.
And I will be marking it down on my little paper thing, saying that that's what we did. So I'll put a little check mark.
Download. We don't want to download a card. There we go.
Oh, yes.
We can change your vote. That's hilarious. Okay, so
actually, we don't want Team Liquid anymore. Those guys smell.
So I went to next. Is that Player's Voice? Is that the
That's
next one on
Player's
there?
Voice, yep.
No, but that's the next one after. So we need to be going backwards
That's the next one after what?
after Best Esports team.
Is it?
So we need to,
No, Best Esports is the end.
yeah. So we need to be going the other way.
There's no. If it's the end, there's no.
That's what I'm saying. But you have to go back to the. Oh my god! Now I have to cut this.
No, we don't have to cut it. No, it's just a little. It's not a problem. Not a problem.
So
I'll just go back. I just didn't want to exit voting. Oh, here for all categories.
Yeah. So
There
you're gonna have to
we go.
individually do this every single time.
That's fine. Yeah, not a problem. Not a problem. So best esports athlete. I see what it did. It kicked it to the front right after Game of the Year.
Yes.
So yeah, no problem.
Okay. So hold up.
We're good.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, we have Best Esports Athlete. The only one I know is Faker.
Yep. It's the only one.
I have no idea who the rest of these guys are. So we have. I'm not even going to bother pronouncing these names. They're kind of hard. We have 33. Alexib, Chovy, Faker, Jiwo,
Yeah.
and these aren't even names.
Chovy, Ziwu, and Jamek.
Can't you just say
Zhang Yong Kang, Zhang Lihun, Alexei Virolanen, and Nita Shapiro.
Yeah, but nobody's calling them by their actual names.
Okay, so then just then it's easier. It's 33 Alexei, Chovy, Faker, Ziwu, or Zimich.
Again, we only know Faker, so I feel like we should just vote Faker.
yeah, both of us only know Faker. Do you know any of them?
Yeah, no, I know like 5 of them, but Faker. Yeah, I would say the best.
Yeah.
Coming from before League, the different games he's played. Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy that he knows 5. Okay, so
Yeah.
I
we picked Faker.
watched a lot of esports.
All right. Next.
So we go to.
Yeah, just hit next
Yeah, next
category
one,
and
we'll go
then
to-
view all categories.
Yeah, it's going to be a process, but we are choosing to do it this way. All
Yeah.
right, best esports game.
Nice.
Counter-Strike, Dota 2, League of Legends, Mobile Legends, Bang Bang, and Valorant. I'm just going to say this right now. It's not Valorant. I think Valorant is boring.
Valorant is a updated modern version of Counter-Strike, and Counter-Strike is boring to me. So both of those are off the list for myself.
Yep.
It's just between Dota 2 and League of Legends.
Yep.
And I'm going to say League of Legends
I would probably say
solely based on Arcane.
I would probably say League of Legends.
I
As
agree.
far as I like Dota, but League is ahead of it.
The last time I've heard of Dota was a Maxor joke.
That's funny. Go down here.
All right, next up, Content Creator of the Year. We have Queso, Elowan, Techno Gamers, Typical Gamer, and Usada Pekora.
Mm-hmm.
The only one I know is Queso. And the only reason I know Queso is because everybody makes fun of Queso. I don't think I've actually watched any of his streams.
I only know typical Usada and Queso, so I still think probably
What is
Queso.
typical play?
Typical gamer.
Yeah.
What about
He plays checkers.
Oh.
he plays? Yeah,
I don't know. I think it's safe to say we just vote Queso.
I think
We should
that would-
vote. We should vote for the only VTuber there. No,
What?
Queso.
No, let's go. We'll go with Queso.
That'd be hilarious.
All right, Queso, you got our vote.
Let's go.
Up next,
We have most anticipated game.
most anticipated game. We got Death Stranding 2 on the beach, Ghost of Yote,
Yote.
Grand Theft Auto 6, Metroid Prime 4, Beyond, and Monster Hunter Wilds.
But remember, we're I don't know. Are y'all voting for what you believe is the most anticipated game, or what's the most anticipated game for you?
No.
I'm trying to be as objective as I
Yeah,
can.
I'm putting away what I'm looking forward to, and I'm
But that's how you should vote, isn't it?
Yeah, but we're voting as a collective, not
Yeah,
as
we're
individuals.
voting as a collective.
Oh no, that's what I'm just saying. I was
If-
asking how are y'all
if-
voting. That's what I was saying.
If I was going by most anticipated game for me, it would be Ghost of Yote. But I know
Yeah,
that Grand Theft Auto 6
yeah.
is going to
Objectively,
be.
it's Grand Theft Auto 6.
Objectively, Grand Theft Auto is
Like
the
there's a
most-
whole meme format about Grand Theft
No,
Auto
yeah,
6.
yeah, I get you. That's why I
It's like
said.
we're- it's
That's
like
what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's like we're
that's-
getting X before Grand Theft Auto 6. That's crazy. You know.
If I was picking, I would have picked Death Stranding 2. But
But that's cool. Because if I had to pick, I'd pick Metroid Prime.
Oh, yeah.
I'd pick Metroid Prime. That's just me though.
Yeah.
Because that thing's been in development hell forever.
Yep. And screw Monster Hunter.
I don't know about that, but
Wow, you really don't like Monster Hunter.
No, Monster Hunter was great, I guess.
And next we're going with
Best adaptation. Okay, first, I think to be fair, I think it's between two, and that I think everything else is like not good.
Honestly, it's going to be between Arcane and Fallout.
Yeah.
And I mean, if I really, I don't know, my votes for Fallout.
Yep.
I've only seen 3 of the things that are on here, and it's Arcane, Fallout, and Knuckles. I haven't seen the Tomb Raider anime, and it wasn't until I saw that this was on here that Like a Dragon had a game or had a series. So
never.
I didn't care. The Knuckles show is fine. It doesn't really have a focus on Knuckles though. It's not really about Knuckles. It's about one of the sub characters in the Sonic movies, who I forget his name. And Knuckles just happens to be there. Like, I wouldn't say the Knuckles show is particularly about Knuckles, or at least he's not the focus of the show. Whereas I think, well, I guess Arcane and Fallout also are really about certain people. It's about just the things that are going on. Like obviously Arcane, it's about the issue of like the top side and the
Undercity.
The Undercity. It's more about the conflict between those people. And in Fallout, there's like 3 different perspectives going on. There's Lucy, and the other 2. I forget. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But it is in the Fallout world. There's not necessarily a Knuckles where. Yeah, I get what you're saying with Knuckles. That's cool.
And I think for like some of the elements of the Fallout game, I think they really translate well in the show.
Yeah.
Like what were those big robot people called? The
big robot people.
Yeah, the suit people.
Like the Brotherhood.
Yeah, the Brotherhood. Yeah, those guys. They look really good.
I think it was done really
action.
well.
Yeah. He just voted for.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought y'all all said.
I said Fallout.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
I'm cool with it.
I thought you were going Fallout. My bad.
Yeah. Well, because that's the thing, right? It's like, I don't know if we've talked about this, but like, I feel like the Fallout show is a good adaptation of the game, whereas like I think the Arcane show is just a good show.
It's a good show.
Like it just happens to be League of Legends like coded.
Yeah.
But like it doesn't really have anything to do with League of Legends.
Yeah. Agreed. That's why I was
so
Fallout.
Ooh.
Honestly, though, that one is a coin flip, though. It could go either way.
Yeah.
All right. Best multiplayer game. We got Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Super Mario Jamboree, Tekken 8, and Warhammer 40K.
So, Helldivers?
Hey, you're laughing. That was my pick. That's actually my pick. Like, if I had to pick one.
I don't know.
Because every Black Ops game, every Call of Duty game is just the same thing. Tell me I'm wrong. It's all the same.
But it's objectively, it's a better game.
No,
it's a better multiplayer game.
No, I would not say that.
100%.
I would not say that. I would not say that at all.
How many people are playing Helldivers 2?
There was a lot. John, you like when that game released, that thing was the talk of the town.
But what about now?
It doesn't matter about now. You can say the same thing with Black Ops 6.
What do you mean? It's still the most popular game right now.
Yeah, but then they're gonna make one next year. No one's gonna care about Black Ops 6. Tell me I'm wrong.
Very true. But at that point in time, nobody's gonna be playing Helldivers 2.
Now I see. I think you're looking at it from rose-tinted glasses. I think I'm gonna fight you on this one. I think Helldivers 2 is way more of a fun game. I think Black Ops 6 is just more of the same. Whereas I thought Helldivers 2 was a very unique style of game. And
I agree. And
here's the thing. Black Ops 6 isn't just the multiplayer aspect. There's also the story. Whereas Helldivers 2 is an exclusive multiplayer experience. So it has to inherently be fun, which it is.
Very true. I agree. Helldivers, I did not get a chance to play it, but it seems the most fun out of those 2 games. I get it. Being able to go and kill aliens and stuff reminds me of, Starship Troopers. God, I love that movie. But that's what it reminds me of. Since I would love to play it. Now, I wouldn't have picked either of those. Actually, I would probably pick Warhammer.
Let's go.
Is that what you would pick?
Yeah.
Oh wow. I don't know. Space Marine 2 or Warhammer is just, I don't know, inherently pretty fun. Now, granted, I have not played Helldivers or Warhammer, so I'm a toss up. I can go either way. Now, what would be Why are you smiling? That's funny.
No.
What would be a better experience for multiplayer? What do you think?
Helldivers.
Helldivers, right?
Yeah, because you can play Warhammer by yourself.
That's what I'm saying. So,
Yeah.
so Helldivers, yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll go with Helldivers.
Helldivers is, like you said, is exclusive of multiplayer. So
So,
Here's the thing: if one of you guys had fought me on it, I would have kept going.
no, you're good.
Like-
No, yeah. I just have to say Warhammer because I love Warhammer.
All right, next sports/racing game. We got
I don't care. About
F1
this.
24, EA Sports FC 25, NBA 2K 25, Top Spin 2K 25, and WWE 2K 24.
I know you're gonna say WWE.
Here's the thing, right? That's my like objective answer, but like most of the WWE 2K games are the same. They're just kind of like updated rosters, but you could say that about NBA and you can say that about every single one of these games. So it's legitimately going to be, hey, which one's the more popular sport? I can tell you what, Top Spin's not winning. I don't know why that's on here.
Oh, probably the.
It's probably be
FC. Yeah.
25.
Yeah.
Because soccer is the most popular sport, or football.
Football.
It's probably winning.
well, up until the FC 25, it was FIFA. I mean, that was my.
Yeah, I think
favorite
they
sport.
changed it.
Yeah.
Starting at 24. I think
Yeah.
24 was the last time they did it, or when they started.
So you want to go with
it's more than likely going to be FC 25. That and like the FIFA those FIFA games they're like they're money magnets. People will spend tons of money on
Oh
those
yeah.
games. So like
So we'll go with FC 25.
Yeah.
I think that's a safe bet.
Next category.
Best sim/strategy. We got Frostpunk 2, Age of Mythology Retold,
Kinitsugami.
Gami, thank you, Manor Lords, and Unicorn Overlord. The only one I have played is Unicorn Overlord, and that's because it's basically like Fire Emblem kind of,
Yeah,
but not really.
that's a good.
So like I that's the only one I would pick.
I will defer to both of you because I don't play a lot of Sims.
Well, these aren't all Sims. Like
No, they're more
Sim
like
strategies.
like Unicorn Overlord is more strategy.
yeah.
Sim
Manor
strategy.
Lords is 100%
It
strategy.
wouldn't matter because I don't play either of those.
It's
genres.
more along the lines of like an RTS.
I get
Age
it.
of Mythology, RTS.
Yeah.
I've only played Age of Mythology and Manor Lords. Both of them were fun. I was gonna try Unicorn. I just never got a chance to. But does it play similar to? I mean, I've seen it played. Is it fun?
Yeah, that's fun.
Hmm.
I'm like it's Atlas Games, right? No,
Yeah. I don't. On here, it's not really like
that's Sega. That's what it is.
neither of those to me stuck out anything like, oh my god, it's amazing. You know.
Mm-hmm.
No. So
I mean, yeah,
I'll refer to one of
because
y'all
that
that-
does say Atlas, right? It says Atlas.
what?
It's Atlas Games, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, if you played any of the Atlas games, like you're probably gonna enjoy it, because most of the Atlas games, like they all play the same.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I mean, look at the art style. It's all. I mean.
yeah, it's all
pretty much
anime,
the same.
all anime characters. So I would say Unicorn Overlord, but I'm honestly it doesn't really matter to me. I'm fine
That's
with
cool.
whatever.
We can go with that one. That's fine. That's not a. I wasn't very.
Granted, we don't need to get 100% of these right
particular about the Sims.
because next week we're gonna go over the things we got wrong.
Yeah.
Best family game:
Best family.
Princess Peach Showtime, Astrobot, Super Mario Party Jamboree, The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom, and The Plucky Squire. Now, there's two ways to look at this. Which one is the most family-friendly game, and which one is the one you would most likely want to play with your family?
Isn't that the same thing?
No, because there's like, I would say, out of all these, the one that I would want to play the most that's family-friendly is like Astrobot, but that's a single-player game. Whereas Super Mario Party Jamboree, you can
Yeah.
play that with your family.
Yeah, and that's what I would. Best family game. That's what I would assume. Right off the bat, I would say Mario Party Jamboree. That would be my pick.
I agree.
See, again, we have to establish is that what we're going for? Like, is it playing with your family, or is it just a family-friendly game?
Well, it doesn't say best family friendly game. It says best family game. So,
Well, what does it say at the top? Because isn't there like a little splurb that they give you?
for the best game appropriate for family play, irrespective of genre or platform. For family play, yeah. So playing with your family. You're not going to play Astrobot with your family.
I mean, you could. It's just they're gonna have to
They're
watch.
Gonna get really bored.
Yeah.
That fourth person on the list is going to have a long time to wait.
Yep.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like you look at Super Mario Party, and like, yeah, you can play with your family, but eventually someone's gonna get tilted.
Well, I mean, hey,
Of course, but you get to play with
That's
each other. You get to
just
spend
like
time-
a family.
Yeah, you get to spend time with each other.
I'll go Super Mario Party Jamboree. I do think it's gonna be Astrobot though. Like
Think so?
if I think it's gonna be Astrobot. A lot of people really like Astrobot. I really like Astrobot. But like I said, if we're going with a game that the family can play,
Yeah. I think
Super
it's
Mario
Mario
Party
Party Jamboree. Yeah.
write that down on the list.
Ooh, good category. Best fighting game.
All right, best fighting game. We got Grand Blue Fantasy versus Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection, Multiverses, and Tekken 8.
This is stuck between two for me.
So the only ones I heard people actively talking about were Dragon Ball,
Yeah.
and Marvel vs. Capcom. But
Yeah.
that's more so because people were talking about Marvel vs. Capcom 2 finally getting like re-released.
Yeah.
If I
Played all of these except for Tekken 8, and
Yeah, it's
I
Tekken,
played up to
right?
Tekken 7. So
It's Tekken.
yeah,
it's
it's
the same
Tekken.
thing.
It's just Tekken. Granted, we're not saying Tekken's bad.
no, Tekken's fun. Tekken's fun.
Tekken's got a formula and it knows how to do it.
But on the list is Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, and I don't think anything is better than that. Also, this
At
list.
least on this list, yeah.
Granted, there's some nostalgia for Marvel vs. Capcom,
Yeah.
but I mean,
Yeah. I mean, if both of you are picking that one.
Nah, I'd probably pick.
no, I'm still picking Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I'm picking Dragon Ball
Dragon Ball.
because I think Marvel vs. Capcom. It's arcade classics, right? It's a bunch of
It's
re-releases of old games, which is cool. Like
Grand
for people
Blue,
who want
Grand
that.
Blue is fun, but it's a very niche. If you don't like the characters and the style of play, you're not gonna like it.
Yeah, I think
So
Dragon Ball. I think
Dragon
Dragon Ball is the safe bet. All right, up next, best RPG.
Best RPG.
We got
Another
Dragon's
good
Dogma
category.
2, Elden Ring, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, and Metaphor ReFantasio. So I guess now is the best time as anything. Elden Ring should not be on any of these lists at all. Elden Ring is DLC, and it should not be on any of these awards, especially Game of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
I do not think they should be here. I get why that they're here, but I think it's dumb.
And I agree with him.
I get why y'all say
It's,
that, but
it's great DLC.
there's not a DLC category, right?
No.
No.
Okay, well, I agree. It shouldn't be in Game of the Year. Okay. And there's a couple better ones. Dragon's Dogma
Mm-hmm.
is a better RPG than Elden Ring, to me, anyways. So is Final Fantasy.
I am going to choose Final Fantasy personally, just because of bias, and I haven't really played Dragon's Dogma, so
Can I see the little blurb for this? I think we should leave the blurbs in just so we can read it. Okay.
There you go.
So for the best designed,
Best game designed with rich player character customization and progression, including massively multiplayer experiences.
see, I hear that, and I don't think. That, I see and hear that blurb, and I don't know if that's Final Fantasy though.
But massively multiplayer experiences, that's more of like your MMORPGs,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
None of these are
None of those are
MMORPGs, really.
RPGs,
So
yeah.
you can't really go by that. Now, I would say Final Fantasy, or from what I have seen, I haven't played, but the Metaphor Fantasio,
Yeah.
it looks fun.
Yeah.
It looks like a cool RPG that I wouldn't mind playing. But if you're gonna go with like what's tried and true, I would say Final Fantasy.
I mean,
know which one.
I'm only choosing that because I haven't played any of the other ones. I played a bit of Elden Ring, but not Shadow of Erdtree, so
It's if you play Elden Ring, it's pretty much the same.
yeah.
just
But
new.
I mean, that doesn't make, because I'm never gonna choose that one.
Yeah.
It's,
We have
it's
morals.
It's DLCs, so I'm not choosing. Even if it's the best one on the list, I'm not choosing it.
What about you, Ruben?
See, I'm torn between Metaphor and Final Fantasy because out of the games that are on this list, those are the two I would most likely play.
Yeah.
More so probably Metaphor because I like the art style.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's Atlas Games. It's 9 times out.
That anime art style for RPGs, I love it.
I mean, because when I think of Atlas Games, I think of JRPGs. They do. They did Atlas. They like we said, they did Unicorn Overlord. They did the Shin Megami Tensei series.
It reminds me of Star Ocean, and I'm a really huge Star Ocean fan. So
Yeah,
that's
Atlas Games has a pretty good lock on the RPG series of games, like and style of games. That's why I'm kind of torn.
And I mean, if we're gonna go like, I understand they made a new game, but it's like, I don't know. I think Final Fantasy VII has been done enough. You know, like, I don't know. Trying to look at it like objectively here, and I don't know which one to pick. I'm good with either of those, Final Fantasy or Metaphor.
Because you can also look at it like this, right? Technically, Final Fantasy VII is just retelling Final Fantasy VII.
Retelling of Final Fantasy, yeah.
So,
that's
like,
all it is. That's what I'm saying.
It's
For that alone, I would pick Metaphor.
Yeah,
We can do that.
So,
well, we don't, Vic. We don't have to. You can
Yeah.
fight for.
No,
Final
I mean
Fantasy.
no, because I agree with you.
No,
right? Like
okay.
it's the same thing I'm saying with. It hasn't come up with
No.
Silent Hill 2. It's like
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
here's the thing. I'm not saying Final
Come on.
Fantasy is like bad because it's a remake or
Yeah.
it's like a retelling of. Obviously, there's a there's a
I'll,
place for that.
I'll fight
and-
for
and in
people
fact-
saying it's bad. I'm like,
in fact,
no, it isn't.
I would say I'm more likely to play it because they remade it and it's the action RPG style that I prefer.
Right.
It's not the turn-based stuff that I just inherently think is like not super great. Granted, Metaphor is turn-based, but like it's in an art style that I would rather enjoy. So like it kind of gets a pass. Weirdly,
Oh, it's turn-based. Never mind. Let's go with Dragon's Dogma.
No, it's turn-based. We're voting for it.
technically, I think. Yeah. All right. Metaphor's got our vote, but honestly, it's probably going to Final Fantasy. And heaven forbid it's going to.
I do not think it's going to go to Shadow of the Erdtree. That would be.
All right, best action/adventure. We got Astrobot, Prince of Persia, Silent Hill 2, Star Wars Outlaws, The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. I can tell you what it's not going to be. It's Star Wars Outlaws. it seemed unanimously that everybody hated that game.
Yeah.
I did not pick it up because I thought it looked bad, and I will buy it once it hits to like $20 to like $10 is when I will finally pick
Honestly, out of this list, it's probably going to be Astrobot.
Astrobot.
it up. Yeah, I think Astrobot's safe.
Yeah.
Because like I liked the idea of Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom, but it gets repetitive, and like it can only be repetitive for so long before it starts feeling tedious and like not fun, or you have that feeling of like you have to take a break from it.
do something different.
And Silent Hill is just, I'm on the page. I'm on
See-
your,
I would choose that one, but it's just a remake or a remastered of a game that's already been out for like years. So
yeah.
Yeah, and Astrobot
Astrobot?
single-handedly saved Sony after the Concord fell.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
True.
yeah.
I think we have to give it.
Yeah.
All right, next category, best action game.
Best action
We got
game.
Black Myth Wukong, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Stellar Blade, and Warhammer.
And I'll say the same thing that's them last time. As I'm just gonna choose Warhammer because I love Warhammer.
Nice. Well, see, that's what I said earlier. Are we voting for what we like, or are we voting for objectively the better game?
Well, because I've never played Stellar Blade.
I'm trying to stay objective.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I've never
That's
played
why.
Stellar
That's why
Blade.
for me, Warhammer's not even in the conversation.
Ah,
I think the gameplay's too repetitive for me to like want to enjoy it.
sure.
That being said, that's why I don't think Helldivers 2 and Call of Duty are in this conversation either.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, I don't
probably
think so
mostly
either.
Black
I
Myth.
honestly
For me, it's
think it
between
should be
Black Myth and
Stellar
yeah.
and Black Myth. But action, I mean, if you really just spent 5 minutes looking at the games,
Well, this goes back to the thing that I was talking about earlier, or the thing I don't know if I talked about it, but I was going to mention it. If the game that's in this list right now doesn't win this category, should it even be in Game of the Year? So
Very
like
true.
if Black Myth Wukong does not win this, does it deserve to even be in the conversation?
well, I don't even think Black Myth should. Yes, it's an action game, but I don't. I mean, it's still essentially a roguelike adventure game, right?
I don't know. I've never
Like-
played it.
Okay, well, no, I was trying to see if you had played it. I was like,
No,
from what I've seen,
just
and
said-
like the I didn't want to play it because that's what it was described as, and it's just like I didn't want to play another. I'm sorry, I said roguelike. I didn't want to play another Elden Ring. I didn't want to play
Another Souls-like?
Yeah, Souls-like. Yeah, I don't know why I said roguelike. Anyways, and those games don't scream action. You're doing adventuring. It's more like an RPG, like an open world RPG.
Sure,
Right?
sure.
But Stellar Blade, It's action.
The category is action adventure.
No, it's just action.
No, it's
Is it-
action.
is
Best
it
action
action?
game. Yeah,
No,
that's what I'm saying.
never mind then.
If it was best action adventure game, I could be like, okay. Well, maybe Black Myth has a
Yeah, the last category was best action adventure. This is purely just action.
yeah.
I'll go with Call of Duty Black Ops
Oh my god,
because it's an action.
it's a lot
genre,
of action.
Action genre focused primarily on combat.
No, that would be Stellar Blade.
Oh,
Yeah, it's just you're picking a character, you're leveling up, and you're going out and you're fighting things. And
Yeah, but
I don't know. What do y'all think?
Yeah, but Black Myth Wukong is a Souls-like, and Souls-likes are inherently action.
Not really.
I think they are. Because the whole objective is to get to where you're supposed to be to fight some person. That's essentially what Elden Ring is. Get to where you need to be, fight the person, move on to the next person, fight them. Like that's literally all it is.
yeah.
So inherently, Black Myth Wukong is just that: get to your person, beat them, move on to the next person.
Yeah, but there's a lot of moving on.
So is Elden Ring.
Yeah, and I don't consider Elden Ring an action game. That's a personal thing, though.
What do you consider it?
More of an, I just said more of like an
Oh,
adventuring
an
type
adventure
game, like an adventuring type RPG.
Mm.
Like you're gonna do things and complete this quest and go kill this thing and then go fight this thing and then go. It's not a Devil May Cry action game.
Okay.
100%.
So do you think Black Myth Wukong would be better if it were in the action adventure?
Yeah, yes. Action adventure, Black Myth Wukong. Yeah, I think that would have had a better standing. But I mean, yeah, if y'all both think Black Myth, I don't mind going with Black Myth. I said it's
We
either
can
Black
go-
Myth or Stellar. So y'all
We can go Stellar.
whatever y'all.
I've never played either or, so I can't.
I've only watched. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've just watched. That's all I got. Heck, if I had seen more Warhammer, I might say Warhammer, but
I saw a lot of Warhammer.
so
This one's tough. I actually think this one's tough. I think my heart says Black Myth Wukong though.
We can just go with the Maverick and just pick Helldivers.
We're not. It's like
no, let's go with Black Myth.
I was able to defend Helldivers for multiplayer. I'm not defending it for best action game. Even though it's a good action game, it's not the best. All right,
I
next
want
one.
you to
Best
best
VR/AR game.
Oh, see, I don't have enough money to even vote for this.
So
one.
the only one that I've played out of this list is Asgard's Wrath.
Damn, that's funny.
But the only other one that I've seen gameplay of is Batman. So do I go off of what I've played or what I wish I would have played?
Probably what you think is a better game inherently.
I would. Here's the thing: if you gave me the choice right now of like out of these games, which one do I want to play? I'm going to tell you right now, it's Batman.
I was gonna say Batman.
It's going to be Batman.
Batman.
So I think it's safe for. I think we should pick Batman.
Where's Rachel?
But it's going to be either Batman or Asgard's Wrath. Because like, see, I can't even say that because I was going to say Asgard's Wrath was like bundled in with a MetaQuest if you bought a MetaQuest, but like they started doing Batman bundled in with MetaQuests if you bought a MetaQuest.
Yeah.
So like, it's kind of a toss up like of which game you're probably playing automatically. But yeah, I'll say Batman. I think Batman's fair.
I've seen 3 of these, like just watching videos. I think Batman looks the best. Looks fun. Something that I would play more than the other 2. All right, next category: best mobile game.
Ooh.
So me and Vic had a conversation about this.
Yeah.
Because Balatro is here. Now, Balatro is up for Game of the Year. It's also up for Best Indie. I am of the opinion that just because a game is on mobile doesn't make it a mobile game.
Very true.
Because you can play Balatro on your consoles, on your PC. It just happens to be that you can play it on your phone.
No, I would say best mobile game. It's either going to be AFK Journey or Pokemon.
Yeah, because those are the only 2 mobile games. Granted, I think you can play AFK Journey on your PC, but like I feel like most people aren't.
Yeah.
Whereas like I feel like more people are playing Wuthering Wave. And
Well, I mean, you
Zenless
can't
Zero.
play Pokemon trading card games.
Yeah, you can only play that.
Yeah,
In
on your
fact,
phone.
that almost feels like we have to vote for them
that's what I'm saying.
because it's the only one that you can only.
And I mean,
play
if
on
you're
your
looking at it objectively, I mean, which one?
I mean, to be fair, $120 million.
I was just going to say which one made $120 million.
Hey, we're just saying.
I mean, I don't know how much money Zenless Zone Zero made, but
Doesn't.
I heard
I don't
that
think
most,
it's anywhere near.
I heard that most people didn't find it as fun as like what are the other ones?
Genshin.
And
Well, see, for the best game
Honkai Rail or
playable on a
something.
mobile device. Yeah.
Granted, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I think Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket is the greatest game in the world.
But it's the only one that you can only play mobile.
Yeah, but it's like it's fine at best. Like I don't think it's like blowing me away. But as a mobile game, it's fine.
Granted, though, if Balatro was not on PC and it was a mobile game,
Yeah.
Then yeah, it's Balatro.
Oh.
I would
Oh.
totally play it all.
Absolutely.
I mean, yeah.
But yeah, just because it's on mobile doesn't make it a mobile game. Get it out of here. All right, next up, best debut indie. Okay, now
Okay, you know what?
now it's Balatro.
Balatro.
Yeah.
Balatro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say Balatro.
Absolutely.
I played Mandalore. I've looked at none of the other ones. Oh, just
Oh,
Animal
we saw-
Well.
we saw
Just
the trailer.
Animal
Yeah,
Well.
the only other one that I would pick is Plucky Squire.
Okay.
I think the Plucky Squire does a lot of really cool things.
But I've heard a lot better things about Balatro.
Yeah,
That's because I think a lot more people have played Balatro.
Yeah.
true.
Like if more people had played Plucky Squire, we might have a different tune about it.
Maybe.
I don't know though.
I don't know. We saw the trailer and it looked really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I'm not saying it looked bad, but
I just think that I think the Plucky Squire, because they're two different games, right? One's like a roguelike poker type thing.
Mhm.
One of them's like an action adventure type thing.
yeah.
With like cool ideas in terms of like its storytelling.
Which is hilarious because if you had just told me that, I probably would have picked Plucky Squire. But Balatro.
Yeah. I don't know. It's
Here's the
fun.
thing: I think Balatro is gonna be the pick,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but if Plucky Squire wins, that'd be really cool.
I wouldn't mind.
But I don't think it's gonna win.
I wouldn't mind.
So go Balatro.
All of a sudden, Animal Will wins.
I don't think so. I didn't even have a fun time
Oh,
watching
so this
that game.
that was best debut indie. This is best indie.
Yeah, best independent game.
So I believe this is people's first games.
Yes.
So
Wow.
wow, that was, Balatro was somebody's first game.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Damn.
All right, so we got Animal Well, Balatro, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, Neva and UFO 50.
Lorelei and the Laser Eyes. I've never heard that one.
Now, here's the thing, right? See, I can't even say that. I was gonna say Balatro won best indie, so inherently, you should probably win best indie. Like
Oh, I see.
best debut indie,
Best
it should
debut.
win best.
Best
indie.
independent.
indie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, honestly,
And
I-
then, because like by proxy, Animal Will shouldn't win this because
Yeah.
it was also in the other category.
Yeah.
I've never heard
And
of
it's
any
just
of these.
and the other ones I've never heard of the other ones. Well, I mean,
I've heard of UFO 50. I've never played it. But yeah, I think we'll just pick Balatro
Yeah.
again.
I agree.
We'll
There's
just-
a clean sweep for Balatro.
well, until we get to it.
And then you know what I mean.
As for its first indie appearance, that's fine. All right, so we
Best
got
community.
best community support. We got Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, No Man's Sky.
Here's a tricky one.
Ooh.
So
Because-
what do they define community support as?
Recognizing the game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game updates patches. So basically, how much the company listened to their community and responded with gameplay updates and development, and that's why I said this one's kind of a tricky one because I mean, I would at first it would be like, okay, well, people would immediately. I don't know. Actually, people
I'm
wouldn't
surprised
say
No Man's
Fortnite
Sky is
because-
on this list.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
No, I could see them being on here because
No.
they really done.
Yeah.
They
have done
improved it.
Well,
Yeah, they've done a 180
not,
since
not saying
launch.
not saying that as a bad thing. I'm saying like, whoa, still going at it. Nice.
Epic Games, well, they really don't give a crap about their community, so I don't believe that should be.
See, it's hard to say that, but then they like do like collaborations and a bunch
That's
of other
fine,
things.
collaborations, but when do they listen to their? And okay, that's a different thing. Anyways,
Now, if I had to pick like out of all these communities, which one is like the most fun, I'd probably give it to Helldivers 2 actually. Because I know we're talking about like how the company and how the company does things, but like the amount of memes that people were making about Helldivers 2 and like comedy videos and like stuff like that, like around the game, there was a lot, especially at launch, and it's slowly like died down. I don't know. I'm not as involved as I was, but I think there is something to say that like in terms of like the community as like a player base, not just like looking at like from like a company standpoint, because it's easy for us to like dog on all these companies. Like again, Epic Games, you know, how many times have they been at fault? Square Enix to like a degree, you know. So like, do we pick this solely based on like how the companies react, or just like as the community?
No, I mean, if we were picking like this because based just solely on the companies, it would be Larian. It would be Baldur's Gate 3. They're the best company out there. But we're not. That's not what it is, right? Where it's, you know, community support. I didn't even know the whole transparency and responsiveness, the social media stuff. That's cool too. I thought it was mainly strictly game updates, patches, and that type of thing. So, but since it is everything in overarching kind of.
Because I look at social media activity, whenever there's like any sort of update for like Helldivers 2, they do it in character. Like they do it as like, hey Space Rangers or whatever they're called. You got to go and you protect Super Earth. Check out these new guns or whatever. Like,
Yeah,
they do it in character, which I
and
appreciate.
They've been doing that kind of stuff ever since it came out, right?
Yeah,
that's been a whole, you know. I don't know. I wouldn't say. I said Square Enix is fine, but I don't see the whole.
I think it's just hard for me to like look at that because like I know people play Final Fantasy 14, but like I feel like nobody talks about Final Fantasy 14.
Well, you have to like look at the things that people are talking about to see that people talking about. You have to play Final Fantasy 14 to see where people are talking about Final Fantasy 14.
Before, because I did play it slightly for a little bit. Mm-hmm. Before playing it, I had heard nothing about it, and then when I started playing it,
it's super popular, but you have to be playing it for it to see where it's at, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like you say that about any of these games.
That's true.
Well, not really, because Helldivers, I see stuff for Helldivers all the time on social media. Like, it'll pop up on TikTok, it'll pop up on Facebook, it'll pop up on, you know.
Yeah.
But Final Fantasy, you're not seeing that. Yeah. You have to go search that out.
I just get Baldur's Gate stuff just because it's adjacent to D&D.
Well, yeah, but that's different, yeah. I would say Helldivers, yeah.
We can do Helldivers. Yeah.
It's definitely not Fortnite. No, that's not.
Yeah, I think Helldivers is fine. I think it's a fine choice.
I wouldn't mind if they won. So let's cast that vote.
All right, best ongoing game. We got Destiny 2, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Helldivers 2.
This is a hard one.
Here's the thing, right? They're always updating Fortnite.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to like not say that it's Fortnite.
It's Fortnite.
Because I feel like when Final Fantasy does it, it's like this big grandiose thing, right? It's this big like what are they called?
Updates.
Yeah, updates. Like big DLC like stuff.
Awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. If you're looking at that, it's going to be something like a Destiny 2, Diablo, or Final Fantasy.
Yeah, because like whenever Fortnite updates, it's mostly like skins
and we made a new map. Or
or we're updating the map for like
gameplay has been the same since it started. Yeah, pretty much. I mean
they've had stuff, but like that stuff that they add to me is just like gimmicks. Like, you know, when they did the Spider-Man collab, you could swing on like web swingers, or when they did the Attack on Titan collab, you could use the ODM gear. It's a bunch of stuff that like doesn't really change the core of the game. It just adds a little extra thing for like fans of those series.
So like, I mean, this one's a hard one for me because like, do I look at it at the way of like how Final Fantasy? So if I would choose Final Fantasy, it would be like, okay, well, when they first came out, Realm Reborn or before Realm Reborn, it was like really crap. Then they redid it, and then, you know, came out and it was like, hey, this is a lot better. And then as the content has gone on, the gameplay has changed some, you know, here and there. But at the same time, Diablo 4, you know, has had their updates, pretty big, significant updates as far as like gameplay changes here and here and here and here. But also, there's been a lot of like hate to Diablo 4 as well because people, you know, didn't like the decisions that Blizzard were making. So do you go by, you know, just content coming out, or because Destiny has grown super, you know, they've been out for a long time too, and it's like
I'll defer to both of you because
this one's tough. I think
the only one on this list I haven't played is Helldivers. So I mean, I don't. Like,
it's been a while since I played Helldivers, so I can't be like, oh yeah, all the updates have been awesome. Like, for all I know, it's like it's just been small little patch updates to like weapons
Well,
and stuff.
Well, last time I heard is Helldivers got a huge patch that players unlock like a space station that people can use.
See, I wouldn't know that. Like, I will say this: now that we're like doing this, it makes me want to go play Helldivers.
Yeah. So like last time I heard is Helldivers is still getting updated. Like people can use like different stratagems now to bombard like the whole planets or shit like that. Sorry, my language, but. Like I've heard Helldivers is getting stuff.
True, but like I would say if we're just going by what the description up here, I would probably have to go with Final Fantasy. Evolves the player experience over time. That's probably the one that's done that the most.
Yeah, honestly, I think I'd have to agree. And like I said, whenever Final Fantasy does it, it feels like this big grandiose thing.
Yeah.
Like a thing to like add to not only to like the game but to like the world. It feels like a big deal.
Yeah.
Whenever Final Fantasy does it, whereas like
whether they're releasing new classes, new worlds, new cities, new
towns, whereas like when all these other games kind of do it, it just feels like, hey, we're adding a thing. Like,
yeah,
it doesn't feel important.
Yep.
I feel like when Final Fantasy does it, it feels a little important.
Cool, Final Fantasy.
All right, next one, games for impact.
Yeah.
For a hold on, I couldn't read that.
I'm sorry.
For a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. So these are the games that have deep meanings, really good messaging. I'm gonna be real. I haven't played any of these besides a little bit of gameplay of Life is Strange. I think that Tales of what was it called? Tales of
Kenzera.
Yeah, that one I believe was actually showcased last year at the Game Awards, and I remember it looking really cool. I just haven't played it.
Played the first Life is Strange, so I don't know about this one. I have played Senua's Saga.
Yeah,
that one's really good.
It's really good. I've also played it.
I don't know about it being like games for impact, pro social meaning or message.
Thought provoking.
Yeah, maybe I thought provoking, probably, but I just thought it was a good game.
See, if I had to pick a game, it'd probably be Life is Strange, because every time I hear people talk about Life is Strange, it's mostly that either the game's fun or the game means a lot to them.
Yeah.
So I really don't have anything else to add other than that.
Well, no, having played the first one too, I just kind of like, I get where you're coming. I get where you're saying that people talk about that, because this one's kind of hard because like I don't. The rest of them I've never even heard of or played or anything.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, we should choose Closer the Distance. No good reason.
Yeah.
Good job, Vic.
Thanks.
Yeah, like I said, it's hard for me to talk about this because, like, I don't know if it's that not necessarily that these games aren't for us. It's just that, they probably have a meaning that we can't relate to.
Sure.
Well, playing Senua's Saga, I don't get the whole social meaning or message. Like I don't get that. Why it would be in this category. Now I understand why Life is Strange is in this category because it makes sense with that description. So I would choose Life is Strange. I mean,
I think that's probably the safe bet. Is Life is Strange.
We may be totally wrong.
Well, you know what? If you thought any of those other games were a better pick, let us know in the comments. And explain why, because we would like to know. But we're going to go with Life is Strange anyway. Next one, innovation in accessibility.
See?
Now, here's one that I had not really some issues with, but I was like, in accessibility, what are they going to describe that as? Well, now they have a description. So, recognizing software and or hardware that is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience. So, I'm assuming accessibility to people who just
like people
have a hard time playing.
Yeah, like people have like disabilities.
Yeah,
or, stuff like that. Which I think more games should. Games should be for everybody. Again, this is one of those things where it's like I can't really speak on it, right? Because I'm not using any of these settings.
Yeah. But like, okay, so here I don't know anything of how that would relate to Prince of Persia, Outlaws, or Dragon Age. Actually, or any of them.
Yeah. Again, that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
It's like we don't use these settings.
We don't really use these
settings.
Like,
the only one I think I can think of, I think it's Star Wars Outlaws. They have like a colorblind setting to where it makes it easier for you to see like certain things because you're a you're colorblind.
Wow.
Well, if we're talking strictly about that, Diablo 4, and like Black Ops has quite a few accessibility, like a small section on it. But Diablo 4 does, if I remember correctly, has a whole entire section on the bottom where it's accessibility. The colorblind, highlighting things differently. It's like a whole section that you can choose off, click off. So if we're talking about that, I know they have that.
Well,
I'm sure Dragon Age does
that's the
as
thing,
well.
right? It's
But
like, I'm just trying to think of like the most extreme types of accessibility, but like accessibility doesn't have to be like that extreme, right? Literally, it could be like, hey, just make like the outline of a character pop out more.
yeah.
Like little things like that. It doesn't have to necessarily have to be like, hey, you're colorblind, like,
Yeah.
invert the colors or something. Or
Yeah.
again, I don't know how, like what it does. So yeah, I like I said, I can't really speak on this because I'm not using these settings.
You can choose Diablo 4.
Yeah, I think Diablo 4, just based off your description. Again, I can't fact check that. I don't know.
Like I said, it may. Who knows? It may be Dragon Age. I'm not sure. I haven't played it. I don't know.
I mean, for all we know, it's Prince of Persia, and we,
yeah. You know what?
No.
That is very true.
we should just pick Prince of Persia, just to do it.
Y'all want to pick Prince of
No, we'll
Persia?
pick Diablo. I think Diablo. I think
That
Diablo.
would be
I think
hilarious.
Diablo.
At least we're not picking Black Ops, right?
Again, if you happen to be watching this, like not explain, but like
Give us your
thoughts
yeah.
of like this game should have been picked because of X.
Yeah.
Give us the reasons because we'd like to know.
Now
Best
we're going into
performance.
Best performance. Awarded to an individual for voice over acting, motion, and/or performance capture.
Okay, so we have Hannah Telle, Brianna
Hannah Tell, Brianna White, Humberly Gonzalez, Luke Roberts, and Melina Jurgens.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for all the respective games. I don't...
So the only one I know is Brianna White. And that's because she plays oh my god, what's her name? Aerith?
Yep.
Yeah.
Aerith. She plays Aerith, I think.
Yep.
Again, I haven't played any of these games. I've heard Humberly's. I think it's just more of a problem. I just don't like the character she portrays because she does the main character for Outlaws, I think.
Oh, okay.
And I just don't really like the character. But again, I haven't heard any of these other people's performances. So for all I know, they're great.
I don't know any of these voice actors, but I mean...
Here's the thing, right? Objectively, they're all great because they all got the job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So inherently, they all have to be good, right? It's just who's the best out of all of them. I can't say. I would pick Brianna just because she's the only person I know,
Sure.
like character-wise, like
I'll agree
whose
with
performance I've actually heard.
Yeah.
Besides Humberly, and I didn't care for the character. Again, but that's more of a character thing than her performance. I'm sure.
I've only heard Melina because we've played the game. So it's like, But I don't mind going with Brianna. That's fine. I mean, I've heard Aerith. I mean, I haven't played the game, so I don't know how it is the entire game. But whatever. This is kind of weird because
This is a decent
I'm just
job.
saying it's just weird because like I don't
No, I just thought of it. I was like, well, she's only in like half of the second one.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, she goes out with a shing.
All right, if Brianna, you get her vote.
yeah, she dies. There you go.
Wow, spoilers!
Spoilers, God. Oops.
All right, best audio design. This is separate from best score and music.
Yes.
Who do we think takes advantage of the audio in their games?
Ooh, Black
I-
Ops 6.
Oh, you were real quick to that.
Probably Black Ops 6. I'm not gonna lie. I mean,
So you guys were real quick to that. I was actually going to say Silent Hill.
Silent Hill.
Because I think inherently a scary game has to take advantage of their audio design.
And I would normally agree with you, but it's Silent Hill 2. It's same thing, same problem I had with the other one.
See, but I'm not as egregious. Like to me, this is that is not inherently a problem for me.
Yeah.
Whereas like the Elden Ring thing is a big problem for me. I don't care that it's a remake or a remaster or whatever.
okay, so we're going by recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design. So like, what do you? Well, see, in order to do this, just like a lot of the other categories, we would have had to play the
You would have
games,
to play the games, yeah.
to actually see. I've only played 2 games on here, so I'm kind of biased. I mean, Senua Saga had good score, good music,
Yeah.
I guess, good audio. But if I'm going to go by in-game audio, and I mean that's one of the biggest things playing a shooter, right? You got to have good audio for
You
it.
gotta hear stuff.
And the sound design of like the doors opening or re-racking, a gun or the sound it makes when you shoot it, or just listening for footsteps.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows? Maybe it's Astrobot.
It could be Astrobot.
Honestly, I think Astrobot's better.
It could just be Astrobot.
Because like Astrobot does like a lot of really like cool like little things to make the
for the sound design.
To make it more like there's a part where he like moves and like you can hear like his little feet like make a little ting 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 as he's going.
That's cool.
That's what I'm saying. It's like little because like I get where you guys are coming from. Like Black Ops is like the importance of
it's the little things.
Yeah. Whereas like the importance of like needing to hear like a footstep or a creak and stuff. But like again, that's in every like Call of Duty game. So like inherently it's like who cares? Like it's the same thing. The reason I wanted to give it to the reason I was like, we can give it to Astrobot, but like I said, like inherently like something like a Silent Hill or even like a Hellblade, like more so I guess Silent Hill, right? Silent Hill's like a scary game, right? So inherently it needs its audio design to be good because the whole thing is like jump scares and scary, and but I'm fine with picking Astrobot. I don't know if it's gonna win, but I'm fine with it.
Now we have best score and music.
Oh yes.
So this is the only one that we actually had to do research for.
For outstanding music, inclusive of score, original song, and or licensed soundtrack.
So I think the only one that has like licensed soundtrack is Silent Hill. For all I know, I don't know. I could be wrong on that. I think we should do this in like the order of which one we thought was like the most boring. And like sorry, but it was Silent Hill.
Yeah.
I think I said it was like was it Midwest like rock for some of it.
Midwest rock, yeah.
Like for some of it, not all of it, but like for some of it.
Oh yeah.
We were really high on Astrobot while we were listening to it, but then we kind of started realizing that they were just kind of reusing the same stuff, but they would like change it up to make it like seem interesting.
Whoa,
which wasn't a bad thing. Like although like the fact that
the
fact that all the boss battles had like the same theme, but they were like using like different instruments and stuff. Inherently, it was cool.
It's cool,
but it's not cool enough to be like
best
of their thing. Same thing with Stellar Blade. I don't think Stellar Blade did anything like super amazing, but they did like a lot of like backing vocals for a lot of their score.
Yeah.
Which I appreciated a lot. But I thought Metaphor also did that, and it did it a little better. So it realistically, it's between Final Fantasy and Metaphor.
Yeah. I think it's Final Fantasy actually. I mean, you can never go wrong with Final Fantasy. They usually have a great score.
Pretty good music.
Yeah. I'm fine with Final Fantasy. Because honestly, it's a lot closer than I think.
Yeah,
we're making.
I'm fine with either or, but I'm biased.
I think the music for Metaphor makes sense for the game.
Yeah,
and you can say the same thing about Final Fantasy. But the thing about the Final Fantasy music is that it sounds epic.
Yeah,
it sounds like this grandiose thing that you would want to listen to. Like, I wouldn't go to like an orchestra concert for like a Metaphor.
Yeah,
but I'd go for one for Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
So inherently, I think that just automatically makes it better.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that's what I think about too. Is like, what would I listen to like outside?
Yeah.
Of just hey, I'm driving in the car. What do I want to listen to? I've listened to Final Fantasy scores before, so it's
All right, so we're going with Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy.
All right, next up, best art direction. We have Astrobot, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring, Metaphor, and Neva.
Artistic design and animation. So the main thing we're going with here.
This is probably going to be like a biasy thing, and just because like I prefer like the colors and stuff, it's either between Metaphor or Astrobot. Because they use very bright and lively colors.
Yeah.
Whereas like Black Myth Wukong and like Elden Ring, they're very muted. They're very dark. Like, and again, that's the aesthetic. Like that's the aesthetic that they're going for. I just prefer. Again, it's a video game.
Yeah.
I like the more like flashy kind of out there colors. I think that they take advantage of.
I think Neva's looking pretty good.
Dude, I don't know how many times Neva's been on one of these lists, and
it must be good because it keeps popping up.
Yeah.
Now is Metaphor like should it be considered? I mean, since it is Atlas, and I mean a lot of the games are very similar. It's that very similar, anime-ish style But you like bright, lively looking things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
cartoony.
That being said, though, I will say it is basic.
Yeah.
There's not much going on.
Granted, I mean, it is darker, but when you look at like Wukong, I mean, it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
It looks really, really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I feel maybe it's just me. I don't think anybody's playing Black Myth Wukong because it's like, oh man, this is a pretty looking game.
Well, it's got to be a little bit of it.
Yeah, but it's not all of it.
No, yeah.
Like
That's the same for all of these games. Nobody's playing any of these games because they look beautiful. They're gonna play because of the gameplay first, and then second towards.
Astrobot people are looking at that because it looks cute. It looks fun.
Think so?
Yes, 100%. At the end of the day, but all Astrobot is a platformer. You
Yeah.
got to make that look exciting.
Yeah.
Sure.
You inherently have to make that look fun because all it is a platformer.
Yeah.
Whereas like Black Myth Wukong and Elden Ring, they can get by on their gameplay alone. It doesn't matter how good the game
That's
looks.
True.
True. I would say it's between Astrobot and Black Myth. I don't think the others are even close.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Well,
no,
because we're not considering Elden Ring, right? So
No.
that's off the list.
I don't know. Elden Ring and Neva are in my.
you know, I'm gonna check out that game after this because clearly it's good.
So you want
to
to
a
go with
degree.
Neva or Astrobot? It's Astrobot or Neva. Which one?
We can go with Astrobot.
Okay.
Every,
go Astrobot.
we all at least have it on our list. So.
Well, it's like I said, right? It's like it inherently has to look visually pleasing because it is just a platformer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like look at Sackboy.
Yeah.
The thing its predecessor, right? Sackboy isn't like the most like great looking game, but it visually looks fun because it's a platformer. So like it, whereas like I said, Black Myth and Elden Ring, it could get on like just being a good game, like gameplay alone. But
Yeah.
it's just a plus that it looks better. All right, so we got best narrative.
Best narrative. Outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game.
All right, so we got Final Fantasy VII, Like a Dragon, Metaphor, Hellblade 2, and Silent Hill 2.
See, okay. I
Where you
wouldn't
going?
mind Silent Hill 2 winning this
I think I agree.
because Silent Hill 2 has a great story.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I would agree. Because here's the thing, I haven't played Like a Dragon. I doubt its story is like super compelling. From what I know, Hellblade 2 is really short. Like it's not a super long game.
No,
Yeah,
I think
it's
it's a
not.
continuation of the first
I
one.
would. Well, Final Fantasy VII is a remake. Like if you don't know the story,
Sure.
And
or-
it's,
or-
the,
or
third, it's
where
the
it's-
third one, right?
or no, I think it's the
Is
second
it
one.
the second one?
So they did Final Fantasy VII remake,
Remaster.
and then they did
or remake, and
then they did the thing which was basically just the port of
yeah.
Yes.
5.
And
so
now
this is the
it's
second
Rebirth.
one.
Yes.
Yes, or
Rebirth.
Rebirth.
Right.
But granted, it's just Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you don't know the story, then it might be exciting for you. But like if you played Final Fantasy VII, you probably know where the story's going.
Yeah, you're playing it because it's
But the same thing with like
Yeah.
Metaphor too. I mean, it's the same style. It's going to be a
Well, here's the thing, right? And this was the joke about this movie. I don't even think the people who are voting for this game have even finished Metaphor because that game takes like 1,000 hours to finish.
Yeah.
Like it's a long game. So I doubt that there's anybody here who's finished Metaphor. I'm sure there are. Again, it's a haha joke, but like
I hate
it's a long game, and like
no. But looking it up a little bit before this, it makes me want. I'm going to go play it now.
yeah, it's
It looks really fun.
Yeah, it's a good looking game.
But yeah, I agree. Silent Hill. Silent
I
Hill
would vote
have-
Silent Hill.
Silent Hill.
Yeah, I think that's fair. There you go, Silent
Did
Hill.
you ever play Silent Hill 2 when it first came out?
Yeah.
Yeah, so did I.
Oh
It
my
was really good.
god.
All right, you got it.
Scared the crap out of him.
All right. Best game direction is next. And I will say this right now. This inherently is a dumb category. Because right after this is the big one. The big game of the year. So theoretically, anybody who wins this category should technically win Game of the Year. Because the whole point.
Actually,
Is-
not really, because this is, you can have a great directed game and it not be the best playable game.
No, it makes a little. I get where you're going with that.
Well, like, okay, look, award for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design is just talking about the direction. So, I wouldn't say, Balacho maybe a little innovative the way they're doing their whole like added the kind of pokerish type thing into the game.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. But
Yeah.
game direction of that, I mean, I would much rather go with like Wukong or I wouldn't even go with Final Fantasy because it's just a Final Fantasy game. You didn't have to do anything. It's a remake. It's not a remake. It's a different telling. But
No, I mean it's a remake, but also it's if you compare both Final Fantasies, it's different.
it is different. But I mean, okay, just like Shadow of Erdtree, it's DLC, right? So
Yeah,
that's
it's
not going to
DLC.
be on. I don't think it's Shadow of Erdtree. I don't think it's Balatro. I don't think it's Final Fantasy. I think it's between Wukong, Metaphor, and Astrobot. That's just my opinion. I don't know if.
So outstanding creative vision and innovation
Yeah.
in a game, direction, and design.
So innovation. So
But
what's
but
different?
Astrobot is just essentially a platformer,
It's just
right?
a platformer.
So is there innovation there?
Yeah, but Black Myth Wukong is just a Souls-like. At that point, again, it's apples and oranges, right? It's like
Yeah.
At this
you,
point,
you can nitpick
they're-
something, but you have to nitpick the other thing for the
They're
other
all
thing.
the
Yeah.
same.
Because like Astrobot's just a platformer, Black Myth Wukong is just a Souls-like, Metaphor is just a JRPG.
Well, it's innovation in game direction and design. So I mean, that's
What does game direction mean?
it's like when you direct a movie. It's like you have to decide how the movie flows,
Yeah.
and how the story goes,
So
and
if-
how the gameplay, how it
if
gameplays, and how.
If it feels right and if the story makes sense, is what you're telling me.
True, and how it was
basically.
shot, and how how it was put
Yeah,
together,
so
how,
if it
how it was
feels
put
right.
together as
Right,
a
right.
package.
So if
yeah.
it feels
Yeah,
right, right,
yeah.
like, because the story can make all of the sense, but if it doesn't feel right, then
yeah,
what's the point?
and you can have a game that was put together, packaged, like I said, packaged nicely and directed wonderfully, and it could just be not the most fun game for you to play.
Does Balatro have a story?
No,
It doesn't, right? It's just a card game.
it's just a hey, you're gonna
I
do this
think,
level, do this
I-
level, do this level.
I
beat this
think
level.
with that, I wouldn't choose Balatro.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't either.
Oh,
Not for this one.
He wasn't even in the running for me. I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Wait,
What?
what's in the running for you? Just so that I can not even worry about the others.
honestly,
Yeah. Yeah.
like, and I don't want to make it seem like I'm this like fanboy of the game, but like Astrobot's kind of it's kind of cool. Like,
Okay.
because I'm looking at it from like the first sentence of that: creative vision and innovation.
In game direction.
Yeah, and I think Astrobot, it's simple, it's to the point, it's not trying to, again, it's not reinventing the wheel.
Okay.
It's just doing what it set out to do and is doing it well. Granted, is it the most complex thing in the world? No. Again, it's just a platformer. It's like there ain't
No, it
much
doesn't
you
have
can
to
do.
be complex for it to.
No,
you know,
yeah, it
have
doesn't have to
great
be
direction.
complex.
That's not.
Yeah. Like I don't care about
Is
complexity.
it designed nicely? I mean, that's you got to look at. That's.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
I look at like the level design for Astrobot,
Sure.
and I like there's a lot of really good level designs in it.
Yeah. Fair. Okay. So
Whereas I look at like something like Black Myth Wukong, it's like there's a lot of like nice areas to look at.
True, but that's where you come into like
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
you've seen that before in other games as well. It's not really
Right.
innovative. It's not- Honestly, I would pick Metaphor over Black. For this one, I would pick Metaphor. It's either going to be to me Astro or Metaphor.
Astro Metaphor. Okay.
Just from what I've seen, like I said, because I haven't played Astrobot, I just watched Black Myth and I watched Metaphor. Metaphor looks more. It looks like a fun RPG. I don't
That's
know.
fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So
We
I
can.
don't, yeah.
this is actually pretty tough. I really don't know. Creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. See, the thing that I'm like tripped up about is like, again, none of these are reinventing the wheel. They're just like extensions of like past games,
Yeah,
with
which
a fresh
is-
coat of paint.
Yeah, which is inevitable.
Yeah. So like, it kind of just feels like, which one do I think does, the wheel the best?
Right.
So it's like, do I think does Metaphor inherently do the JRPG thing really good, Does Black Myth Wukong do the Souls-like thing really well? Does Astrobot do the platformer really well? I would say yeah. I think all three of them do their perspective thing
Their stuff
very well. I think
Yeah.
at this point it's kind of just a matter of preference.
I mean, if you go by the very first thing outside of creative vision, I mean, Balatro could be. That was kind of cool. The way
Oh, how they did that?
How they did that.
Could be. Yeah.
And set up the gameplay and the way it's the way it is essentially poker, but with the extra stuff they added in there, kind of like, hey, and you're beating the levels, so it looks like you're beating a bigger boss, when it's just really a card game. That is very creative, but
Yeah, because here's the thing with that, I can't think of a single thing that is like that. Like it feels like the first of its kind. Maybe it's not.
Balatro.
Yeah.
No, it hasn't been done before.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like inherently it feels like
it's very new.
Now, I've done a 180 now. I think maybe we should pick Balatro.
I think so too. That's what I'm. Yeah.
Because like I said, everything on this list is just something that's been done before.
Yeah.
And like it inherently just comes down to, like I said, does it do the thing that it's supposed to be doing well?
Well, I mean, if it's the first of its kind,
that's another thing.
it has to be by default.
yeah.
It is.
Yeah, because here's the thing. After this, here's the thing. All the other games in this category are like following what games have already done, whereas Balatro is now setting the standard of that type of game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I guess we talked ourselves into Balatro,
Yeah.
Okay.
which I'm fine.
Not mad about that.
I don't think it's winning game of the year though. So
I would be surprised. You never know.
Whoa, it's the exact same list.
wow.
Yeah. Exact same 6 games.
Okay, before we even get started, we're just not going to consider Elden Ring, right?
No.
I don't think we should consider Elden Ring. I don't think we should consider Final Fantasy.
I don't know about that.
Just a remake.
Yeah, but it's still nice to look at though.
Okay.
Like if I had to seriously say which ones not to consider, it'd be Elden Ring and Balatro. Because I know we just like gassed up Balatro. I don't think it's winning, like at all.
Recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. So if we're gonna go by that, just that on its own, it's either gonna be Astrobot, Wukong, or Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's fair to say.
That's fair.
Because like I said, Metaphor. I don't think Metaphor is doing anything that's like wooing anything. Like I don't think it does any. Well, I guess you could say the same thing about Final Fantasy, right? Like, is it doing anything better than like Final Fantasy 16 did?
Yeah, the story.
It's a better story.
Their story.
Yeah, but it's the same story.
Mm-hmm.
But it's told.
Honestly, I think for me, it's between Black Myth Wukong and Astrobot.
At that point, I would just pick Astrobot because I do not like Black Myth Wukong.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to pick Astrobot,
See, I don't know if I want to pick it.
Though?
I don't think I want to pick Astrobot though.
then pick Final Fantasy.
Because like I'm not saying Astrobot doesn't have a story, but like I don't think anybody's playing Astrobot for the story.
Right.
But I guess you could say the same thing about Black Myth Wukong. But I'm sure there's somebody wants to play the story of Black Myth Wukong. I think it's gonna be Black Myth Wukong. Like if I had to pick one, I think it's Black Myth Wukong. Because one thing that we haven't talked about is like the sales of these games. Like 20 million copies of Black Myth Wukong were sold. 20 million's a lot.
Yeah.
Like if there's out of all these games, that's probably the most played.
You think so?
Yeah, I would say so. That and then it'd probably be Elden Ring, but again, we're not voting for Elden Ring, so it doesn't really matter. I feel like it has to be Black Myth Wukong. Like I don't see a world where it's not Black Myth Wukong. Granted, again, in my heart, I would like it to be Astrobot, but I realistically don't think it's going to be Astrobot. I'd love to be proven wrong. I'd love for when we record this the next time.
Why not just pick for what you want then?
You know what? Yeah, we're picking Astrobot.
Yeah, I'll go with you.
Actually, no.
If you're going to pick what you want,
here's what we're going to do. I'm going to look at every single thing that both of those games were nominated for, and whoever has the most wins in their nominations.
Or Astrobot.
Yeah.
We picked Astrobot more often.
Okay, so let's see.
Astrobot is.
I don't think we didn't choose Black Myth once.
No, yeah.
No, we picked it.
No, we
Did
didn't.
we? No, we didn't.
We picked it for one, I think.
For what?
So Astrobot didn't win Best Family
Best
Game.
action game. I didn't.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so it didn't. So Astrobot didn't win Best Family Game, but we gave it Best Action Adventure Game. But we gave Black Myth Wukong Best Action Game.
Yeah, it was a toss up between that and Stellar Blade.
We gave Astrobot Best Audio Design,
Okay.
and Black Myth Wukong wasn't even nominated for that.
Yeah.
So Astrobot.
But
Astrobot wins.
yeah, but here's the thing. I'm going through this, and it's like we actually gave Final Fantasy a lot, like not a lot, but like a decent amount. Like we gave Best Performance to Final Fantasy.
What was the voice actor?
Actually, no.
Was it because we didn't know any of the other ones?
Yep.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I think we're gonna have to give it to Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy.
No, not Final Fantasy. Astrobot.
Final Fantasy. He said Final Fantasy.
Final
Let's
Fantasy.
go.
what the whole thing is when I look at these, it's like I have to put myself into that picture. Like, okay, what would I have the most fun playing for it to be considered Game of the Year? Right? It
Elden
provides
Ring.
absolute the best experience. Right?
Yeah.
And I think seeing all the games, I believe I would probably have the best experience playing either Astrobot or Final Fantasy, other than Balatro because I played Balatro, so I'm kind of leaving it out of the thought process.
Equation. Yeah.
I can't see myself having fun at all in another Souls-like game. It's just it's almost cussed. It's tedious and annoying. We gotta talk about Souls games.
Watch it not be a Souls-like game. We just keep saying that it is.
No. Black Myth is a Souls-like game. It's 100%.
I know. That's kind of funny. Anyway,
Yeah.
I guess we're going with Astrobot.
It's actually a hack and slash.
That'd be really funny if it was.
Whatever.
All right, Astrobot.
Yay! All categories are done now.
Yep. So that was our picks for the 2024 Game of the Year awards. Game awards.
Yep.
They may be right. They may be wrong.
They're probably wrong.
They're probably mostly wrong. We'll see.
Like I said,
knows?
we will have our update video next podcast.
Next podcast.
We're very hopeful.
Yeah, we're very hopeful. We'll talk about this once we get there. But yeah, I guess now we will just cut back to the other screen so we can get back to the big screen. And we'll cut right now. And we're back from that cut. Hopefully it was good. I didn't do it. All right. Well, it's been fun, guys. That was really enjoyable. But
That was pretty fun.
you know what time it is?
It's not that time of the week.
Water time.
It's water time. Everybody hydrate.
It's Poke time.
Yeah, it's Pokemon pack time. Yes, it's that time of the week. We open up packs to see what we get. As you guys know, as is tradition, we roll to see who gets to pick their pack first. I rolled a 5. Vic rolled a 3.
A 3. And I rolled a...
And 1, so I get to pick first.
rolled a
I'm
nothing.
picking the Terapagos. You guys can pick one of those.
I'll let you choose.
No, go ahead.
He's defying the rules of the game.
You decide your own fate.
Anyway, as is tradition, we will keep tallies of scores to see who is the winner of the thing. So right now, it is, I believe, 6, 4, and 5. Both of these guys pulled through last week, getting the same card. The Slacking
Different
EX.
version, same card. Yeah.
Yes. Vic is coming up
Whoa.
very fast. Whoa.
Wow.
But there's still time. And hopefully we have something very special planned for the last episode of the year. So that'd be really fun.
Which is really soon, 2 weeks away.
Yeah, really soon. Yeah, Vic got a grass. I got water. And John is still struggling to open his pack.
Fire.
Fire. Oh, look, all the starters. Anyway, as is tradition, the pack codes will be somewhere right here. You can redeem them at your leisure. But with that, I guess I will go first. So I have a Ponyta, Grubbin, Varoom, Drifloon, Lapras, Lacey, Marowak, Tornadus, Lantern, and I got a holographic Noctowl. So I didn't get anything. That Noctowl is really good, though. It's a very playable card. Anyway, Vic, you're up next.
All right, got a Melton, Scorbunny, Ladybug, Mienfoo, Reveroom,
Yeah.
Glass Trumpet, Deoncé,
Yeah.
Slowpoke, Choodle, and Rhyperior.
All right.
Is
All right, so Vic didn't get
Nice.
anything either.
Nice,
So
sir.
John can get into super lead.
Nice. That's why I said you pick the deck. Cyclizar, Medicham, a Root Fossil, Froakie.
Yes.
I say Froakie.
Yep.
Eldegoss, Lantern, Briar, Slowpoke, Varoom, and a Ledion.
All right, none of us got anything this week. Yay!
Yeah. Boo.
Yeah, boo. Yeah, we hate that boo. Anyway, this was fun.
Yeah.
We
Good
definitely took a lot longer than I thought we would. I thought this would be something we just like breeze through real quick. We actually had some thought provoking
Yeah.
conversations of what we like in our games, what we don't like in our games.
Didn't like, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait until next week to see how wrong or right we were. Anyway, guys, if you guys did enjoy the podcast, let us know down in the comments down below. Tell us what your picks were. If you had any picks, if you agreed with some of our picks, if you didn't agree with some of our picks, we'd love to know. Yeah, so with that, I guess it was Ruben, Vic, and John, and we will see you guys next time.
Peace.
Peace.